am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the date done, you are gonna love over your son.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Good morning, and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. As usual, this is your host, none other than Mr. Manningsman himself. Big up to Mr. Kevin Williams and the one and only, the beautiful Sure Improvement, along with Mr. KW Media, and to all the other persons who are watching. You may not have made a comment as yet, but greetings and salutations to you. Hope you're having a fantastic day as we prepare to have a great show today here live. But I am sure sports that we just fix my thing here. Big up to Jason, the man who is presently leading the I Am Sure Sports Fantasy Premier League competition, as he has surpassed the much doubted Demo, who said that he would allow someone to lead it this time around because he will be busy, but as soon as he returns to competitive action, he's convinced that he will be taking this one by a storm. Welcome to all of you who always call and support. We respect and appreciate that. You understand me? Bless up to you. As usual, we ask you that once you come and do like what I'm doing right now, which is I've liked the video and I'm also sharing the video with 5 persons. And if you just stop to do that right now, we will increase, right? We will increase the subscription and on the platform, and the platform will continue to grow. So please just hit that like button, subscribe, and share. All right, this is what I do. I'm right here with it. Bam, 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 bam. And I've done that. You can do it too. Also want to encourage you, all of you who have been asking, I believe somebody need to try and tell me if our super sticker feature is working. Did some work and I heard, and I am of the opinion that it is working right now. So if somebody can check, I'd love to see a super sticker. Wind in the mic. Okay, they're saying wind is in the mic. Let's see if we can sort that out. fix up the audio. Don't worry. Right. So if we can get that sorted out, that would be good. Which is, if you can let me know, test out the super sticker, super chat, and let me know if that feature is working. That would be awesome. All right. You know how you do that? It is by giving something to the platform, of course. And once you have done that, then I'll know. We also have membership on the channel. You can be a channel member, and that will help you to get perks and stuff when we begin to put out our merchandise, right? There is also a super thanks where you can also contribute to the channel. So go ahead, test out those features and let me know if they are working. All right? Yeah, man. This evening, thank you, Jason, because Jason Gouda start asked me a question. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much. So there you go, people. Testing. Super sticker. Super sticker is working. Super chat is working. You understand me? So we are up and we are running again. Thanks be to God. All right. And all of you who call to say, man, don't give up. Keep on trying. Keep on doing what you're doing, and everything will take care of itself. It has proven to be so. All right. We have loads of things that we're going to talk about, but as usual, we want to begin the program by giving thanks to the Most High God and look into the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord, the one who has made the heavens and the earth. I also want to do something very special. I want you to know and understand how uniquely created and crafted you are, that you are made in the image and in the likeness of God, that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And no matter what life has you going through right now, you're loved by God. He loves you unconditionally. The Most High God loves you unconditionally. I don't believe like mankind fully understand the magnitude of God's great work in your lives. And that is why we must always live up to our full potential and become all that we were purposed and created to be. And that is so important, because I think in life we sell ourselves short by living below our potential, and that has to stop. And so I want to just share with you some facts, some things about you. And I am hoping that as you hear these things, they will challenge you to think about yourself at a higher level than you did before. All right. Let me just go through them, right? Tell me if the audio is any better. Wind is still in the mic. So let's sort out that right now. Give me a sec and let me sort out that right now. Hold on. Must be gone by now. I don't know. The mic is picking up a lot of sound, so hope that it's better now. Tell me if the audio is better. All right. Let me know if the audio is better. Checking, testing. If the audio any better, my people, let me know. Better. Awesome. All right. So here we go. Right. So let me give you some things. Right. So I just want to do this before we get into the program. Right. That if you like biology, human biology, you know, you will enjoy some of this. Right. But the human body contains 75 trillion cells. Want to remember that, right? Right? And each of these cells that we have, each of the 75 trillion cells is made up of 50 billion atoms. So if you want to know the total amount of atoms in your body, you have to multiply 50 billion times 75 trillion. That's how unique a human is. I don't know if you also know this, that every 4 to 5 seconds, right, 50,000 of your cells die, and they are immediately replaced by 50,000 brand new cells. See how you see how awesome the Creator is. You see how awesome. Listen, they said that there are 75,000 miles of arteries, veins, and capillaries in our bodies. That means inside of us, the wiring of the human body has enough wires or strings that could circle the entire Earth, the planet called Earth, 3 times. That's how unique you are. I don't know if you know that your sneeze can exceed speed of 100 miles per hour. That an average human being for their lifetime spit 25 quarts of spit in their lifetime, which means that a person spit enough to fill 2 large swimming pools. Your nose remember over 50,000 different scents. Jeez. Your 3-pound brain, oh my Lord, this is awesome, which has a 1,000 billion neurons that are intricately linked to each other. The total number of connections in the brain is somewhere between 1,000 to 1,015 millions. Oh, you want me to tell you how our eyes are? Do you know that the eyes have 2 million working parts? That your retina, though it is only 1 inch square, it contains 137 million light sensitive cells. Do you know your eyes? It has more than 1 million nerve fibers that connects each of your eye to your brain. It means that the eye is one of those parts of the human body that cannot be transplanted. You're not an ordinary person. So don't think less of yourself. Just think of yourself less. Put people first, but don't think you're less than anybody. Don't matter where you're born. Maybe you never graduated high school. You don't have a college degree. You don't have the biggest house. But the material things in life is not what gives you your identity. You're made in the image and in the likeness of the Most High God. Just start out share that with somebody today who you're thinking less of yourself. You think like you're a nobody. You think you're a no good. And I want to encourage you with that. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Don't let nobody talk you down. Live and maximize your potential. Fulfill the purpose for which God created you for. You're not an accident. Why understand that? And never use other people's pathway to judge your journey. You're a unique person, so you are on a unique journey. You're designed with all of the stuff you have been through so that you can do the purpose for which you were created. I want to encourage you today now, because I believe as Jamaicans, as people around the world, if we live up to our potential, our communities, our families, and our country will be a better place. And until we change, the things around us and the people around us won't change. So bless up, bless up, bless up. So that's my, we have to give a little bit of inspiration and encouragement, because it's sports is life, and life is sports. We don't separate them. All right. Welcome, Peso. Big up yourself. Conrad Sterling, up, man, up and running. Christopher Wright, bless up yourself as well. All right, people. So, yeah, man. So we are here. We're going to discuss some football as usual. Yeah. There you go, Jason. Be the change. Be the change, man. Yeah, man. Be the change. Be the change you want to see. And I'll tell you this. In life, every great invention was because people saw a problem. Something was a burden to them. Yeah, what I'm telling you? So if you go throughout history, somebody couldn't deal with darkness. So you know what they did? They found a way to invent the light bulb. Somebody couldn't bother with ships bringing them across the ocean. So they built aeroplanes. Moses never liked what the Israelites were happening to the Israelites in Egypt. So he was used by God to deliver them. David never liked what Goliath had gone with. So God used him to slay him. You see the problem that you're seeing oftentimes, you are the solution. That is why your eyes see it. That's why Jason don't see the same problem like you. That is why Demo don't see the same problem like Jason. That is why Travis don't see the same problems like Man and His Man. That is why Duckland don't see the same things, because all of us have a different burden, you know. We are wired differently. And so the things that you're seeing constantly in Jamaica and in the world that are affecting you, maybe God has created you with everything to solve that. Just tap into it, because it could be what brings you into the millions and the billions that you have been dreaming of and dreaming about. Yeah, Duckland and Demo now. Them man I know if it's spoil a good thing. Yeah, this man. Champions League time. Yeah, this other one there, you know. Somebody didn't like winning trophies, so they invented Arsenal. Yeah, I spell it wrong too. Oh, from yes, Duckland. That's how you spell it. Arsenal. That's how you spell it. Oh, from yes, Duckland. Oh, from yes. Yeah, yo, Mikel Antonio says. Mikel Antonio says. Let me tell you what Mikel Antonio says. Do I have it? Mikel Antonio. I saw this in my group. Mikel Antonio says, I think West Ham will finish higher than Liverpool this season. Big up Mikel Antonio. But yes, yeah. But just a few things. People, well, I was told this morning that the people at Jamaica College are not happy with me because I should not have, seriously, I heard that I should not have said anything about the issues with some of the schools because it involved them, and they rate me, and I should not have said a thing about it. All right? So let me just start with that. Listen, in my video yesterday, I wasn't calling out Jamaica College. I was talking about what needs to happen with Issa. I just highlighted an issue that is present. And my opinion is that players at a certain age should be playing. That free up the thing. But do not have one set of schools who are like forced to keep the rule when others find loopholes in it. And that we don't talk about, you know. Because this issue now, there are so many issues coming up because school are saying things about other schools and calling out players, and this player can't play because you stop this player from playing for our school, and if we lose the points, we're going to bring up your thing, make you lose points, and all of these things. So the football thing is looking like at this level, like there's corruption in it. We have to do better, you know. This is, somebody says, is exaggerated physical education class that schoolboy football is, you know. I understand the competitive nature, but it shouldn't get to this place where schools have personal vendettas against other schools over this. You think you can put on your resume when you go to Chelsea and Trial or Barcelona that you won 4 Manning Cup and 2 Pepsis and 3 Colts and those things? Those things matters nothing. You understand me? When you're going to apply for college, you better pass your SATs and those things. You don't go there and tell them that, well, you know, you won the Manning Cup 10 times and those things. It's not that big, people. So let the kids play and enjoy themselves. When they are 17, let them stop playing if they want to be professional footballers. But this heap of moving kids from here to here, because already there are at least 4 top footballers that, because of the heap of moving from here, moving from there, people from Russies gone to school and will not be allowed to play. People leave from Charlie Mount to Mount Pleasant to other school and go back here, can't play. People go, it's not, and some of the administrators know that if the players play, they're going to break the rule, yet they still influence the players to come to their schools. And principals, you must check out these things. You are responsible. And nobody should be added to your school's football team and those things without you, as the principal, having a say in it and investigating the matter. We cannot continue like this, my people. We cannot. Give the youths a chance. Too many youths' careers are being destroyed because of this moving from here to there and can't play again and all of these things. First, it was the whole amount of subjects and, you know, averaging a certain amount. Now, this transfer thing is messing up the whole football business because we have exaggerated the meaning of schoolboy football. right? So now I understand that more schools are getting involved in it. Camperdown has gotten involved. I understand Kingston College is involved now. Hydel is involved, and Dintil is involved, and Rossies is involved, and Jamaica College is involved, and Mount Pleasant is involved, and Charlie Mount is involved, and I mean, so many schools. This whole thing is getting crazy. We have to do better, man. So, my JC fans, no, man, I wasn't calling out JC, but the information is out there, and we can't sweep it under the carpet. So, somebody needs to come out and talk to the public about what is happening. You notice in all that I was saying, I never called the player's name, you know, do I know the player, you know? And the reason why this is happening is because I'm a no same now, we don't get no game on one next school. So, I'm just move to our next school. Because one school have a Premier League goalkeeper. For the man, them go play some Premier League football, man. And it's not like they are doing like, and I was saying this yesterday as well. It's not like these guys are averaging like 80 and up in school. They are not doing good. They are managing, but they are not doing good. They are average students in school. So it would probably benefit them to dedicate them time because they are above average footballer at their level. DJ Veneto, big up yourself. Dwight Spence, welcome as well. Talk it through blue. Yeah, you know that it is still out there now. I don't think they want it to be out in the public, really. Because a lot of this with the schools involved, there's points deduction and possible suspensions. So now lawyers and investigation and all of these things. Our schoolboy football, we have to do the better, man. All right, Fresh God, you realize as you go through, you realize, Fresh God, that there are a lot more than we even know. See Al Hutchinson, like I'm telling you. It's kids like Fabian Taylor's son, who was at the U17. And them kids there, them youth that will play in the under 15 tournament. And some of the 16-year-old who played, and them kids that play schoolboy football, the ones that may be bigger than that way, that started in the Premier League, part of our under 20 team, should be playing in the Premier League. Now, here's the issue now, you know. And this is where I'm going to have a problem. You see, if and when, yeah, man, Hutchinson still at Dintil, man. I don't want nobody to come and tell me that these players must be in Jamaica under 20 team, you know. As far as I'm concerned, anybody who is 18 or 19 playing schoolboy football should not make the under 20 national team. Seen it? They should not make the national under 20 team. They should be playing competitive professional football at a higher level to prepare them. You can't go and take on the USA and Mexico with kids playing in those top leagues, with 18-year-old and 19-year-old playing those top leagues, playing against footballers who just finished playing high school football. It don't make no sense. And then we see one going to complain. How come this man I'm at the side? How come this one I'm at the side? Because right now they should be in. Oh, Jesus. See this now? That's what I'm saying. Man play, man. You have man who play for, listen, a man we're number 10 in the Premier League and start. And I play schoolboy football. When the team is in CONCACAF Champions League, so I don't want to hear anything about them must play under 20. Let them play school. If they want to play schoolboy football, play amateur football. Don't come near the under 20 team. Nobody know when schoolboy finish. Football season finish in November. You try run complete 2 Premier League game so you can make it under 20 side. That cannot work. It cannot work. You check the Americans, you check the Costa Ricans and the teams that we're going to have to compete with. They're not playing no high school football. They're not even, the American players nowadays, they're not even playing college football. They are in academies, elite academies, developing their craft. Big up the Chad. Marlon Nelson Management says that is why the young players can't improve. KW Media, this is also true, you know. He says, if they were average students, it wouldn't be so bad. But most of them are average 40. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these youths, when them leave high school, you know, the ones who go back to go play, you know, because trust me, after the schoolboy football season finished, they're not going back to no school, most of them. I'm telling you, they are only attending classes to play football. When this finished, them walk straight out of school. No more class them now go. Except them probably go to 2 exam. And if they're not going to do any CXCs, them tell us them going pro. So the only reason where they are going to school is to play football. The only reason. And we have to be honest with our youths. We need to stop destroying the youngsters. And the principals must be blamed for this because they know. They know that once the schoolboy football season is done, if the team makes it into the latter stages, which is down in November, December, after that, these kids not going back to no school. By January, them gone in a Premier League side, and that is it. And then when them see them, you can now go there and get girl pregnant and take care of them. So we see them one say that them are worthless father, them are criminal, them are this, them are that. We see them one look at these same kids where we treat this way in our school system and say that they've got look what call them worthless. Now, listen, and here's the thing. Most of us are not doing that with our kids. You check the people who make these decisions concerning other people picnic. For them picnic there in a college. Get 8 and 9 and 13 and 14 subject. Do well on them, keep exam level 1 and level 2. Are in colleges on honor roll. But they make these decisions about other people's kids. Wrong, wrong, wrong. And it needs to stop. Over what? Yo, a 100 the Costa Cup will win. A 900 Manning Cup will win it up. You think your school bigger than my school? Think your school? Check on average. How many persons from your football team make something out of life? The stars. Check on average. Check on average. The youths them were put in this position. How many of them really make something? I put it to you that we have more failure stories than success stories. And we need to reverse that. Or we're going to continue to be a failing state. And if I do it, it is wrong. And if you do it, it is wrong. Here you go, Michael Garden. No moral guidance. Cali Sinclair, man. We talk about recurrent. Big up yourself, Cali Sinclair. We talk about that he tore his ACL, so he's out for 8 months. Yeah. And I think it is full time now. Issa cuts the age 17 and under. 17 and under for schoolboy football. 17 and under. You can come back to school at 18 if you want to go to junior college, which is 6th form, but you cannot play in schoolboy football. You cannot run at champs. Hey, Ishmael, what is it? Oh, you mean to me now play yesterday? Me tell you that me talk about the parents them who just like our mother. Everybody would have cuss a woman if a big man come her yard and she put her daughter out. People say she's this and she should be locked up. Some of these parents need to lock up when them take stove and fridge and some plyboard for box around them house so that them son can feel in school. We have a call and let's see if we can take this call. Caller, welcome to the show. Good afternoon. Yeah, man. How you doing, sir? Totally agree. Yeah, but I'm saying, who do you blame? Is it the parents? Is it the school? Or everybody? I don't even know. Oh, they say they're not hearing the. They're not. Hold on. They say they're not. Oh my. Hold on. They say they're not hearing you. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call you back. They said, you just made some big points and they said anyway here. So let me hang up and call you. All right, let's see if we can sort out. What going on with this thing, man? Hold on, people. Let's see if we can. Check. All right, tell me if you're hearing me. All right, let's see if we can get the caller back on the line right now for him to make his point. And then you tell me if you're hearing the caller. Let's see. We're trying to see if we can get a physio, as somebody just asked to talk about that. This Achilles problem according to Duckland. So let's see. Do it. You can call, but let's see if we can, if it will go through this time. So call in, do it. Yeah. So I don't know. That is my thing. And I Ishmael, parents supposed to be blamed, but I also believe that principals, not all parents are at the educational level to make the best decisions for their kids. I will agree to that. But principals should know better. Principals of schools, they are managers, not just of the school, but of the children's lives as well. And so principals must make some decisions that they believe are in the best interest of the kids. And I'm not saying that kids should not play sports, but the desire to win is, I think, affecting too many things in our kids' life at the high school level. And we have to do something about it. So Dwight, if you're hearing me, you can call back. All right, you can call in, and then I think this has been sorted out right now. Yeah. So that is my position. And while I believe that some parents are to be held, yeah, short us back, Dwight. Let's see now, people. All right. So this is Dwight. All right. Testing. Are you here? Go ahead, Dwight. All right, people, tell me if you're hearing Dwight. Go ahead and talk. Let me see if the people hearing it. No, I haven't seen in the comments. They're still not hearing you? Oh God. Oh, I'll go on now. Check. I don't know. What? They said that, yeah, they said they're not hearing. I see that they're not hearing. All right, so I'm going to sort it out. Yeah, man, I'm going to sort it out and call you back. Do it. Yeah. All right, so let's see if we can fix this. You understand me? I say it going on. Them what people that say all iron them, you know. You understand me? So let's restart again.
Management.
All right, do it.
Yeah.
If them not hear you now, them not hear you again. So they must hear you now.
All right, sound check.
Sound check.
Hold on. So, all right, hold on. Let me good to go. All right, we're good.
All right.
All right, bless up, fresh time. Yeah, couple of rules they could have put in place, right? First of all, yes, it should be U17. The second thing they could do is put a cap on the amount of 18 and 19-year-olds on the team. So say no more than 3 or 4 in the team.
Good idea.
Right? Put a cap and say no more than 3 and 4, 18, 19-year-olds in the team, and they have to have above 70%. No, I want to say 70, above 75% mark and more subjects. So then you know the 18 and 19-year-olds that are playing are truly students.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you have to average. Yeah, you know what, Dwight? That's a good idea. You know that, like, if you're 18 and you're going to play, you have to average over a certain amount, and only a certain amount that you can play. So we'll allow 3 overage players, but these 3 overage players must be in 6th form, have this amount. Yeah. I like that. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Set the cap at 5 per team. Take out the transfer rule. You can transfer as many as you want. Put 5 per team and say, listen, if they're 18, 70% pass rate. No, let's call it 65. If they're 17, if they're 19, 75% with this amount of subject. Make sure they're students. The 18 and 19-year-olds, if they're going to be there, must be not average students, above average students.
Yeah. And listen, that's a very good solution to the problem.
Because now they're using school to prepare themselves for college or university overseas, locally or whatever, but they're there for school. The ones that are not doing that, go play for your JPL, go pay for your major leagues. Because truly, you're really just wasting a spot at the school on the schoolboy football 15, 16, 17-year-olds should be playing. Right? That is
somebody DV group is saying, man, if they make that rule, only Campion will have average players, overage players who can play.
But they still will be capped at only 4 then.
Yeah, I think that's an idea that can be worked, can be fine-tuned.
They still be capped, and it's the other thing. Allow those 18 and 19-year-olds no transfer. You can go wherever you want. So if you can't make one of the 4 that school, go to another school. But you are a legitimate student there. So if Campion find out that they have 10 of them, you tell the parents to go, all right, if you want them to play, you have to beat out them 4. If not, you can go any school and play. Nobody gonna stop you.
Yeah. Yep.
You cap the age and you're up the academic requirement. Because management, truly, that's essentially how the rules work in NCAA. In NCAA, after your 3rd year, you have to have what is called progression. You have to have a certain amount of academic.
Yeah.
So just my proposal.
Okay.
Best respect, sir.
Yeah, man. What about the person? Because Drew Ross is saying, as long as they're in class, they should be okay to play.
No, sir. No, they need to. it's not a participating class. You have to be doing the work and making a certain mark. That's a foolish.
And then Ishmael makes a good point, because Ishmael is basically saying, don't blame the schools, don't blame the coaches. It is the parents. Basically, his thing, because he's saying we have handed over our kids to school and expect the teachers and coaches to raise them. That's a point. That's a point. But I am saying though, if that were the case, Ishmael, why aren't these administrators doing the same thing with their kids? Are the people who are making these decisions, so other people's children, why aren't they making those decisions for their children? That is a double standard, you know. Because I am telling you that most of these people will not make these decisions for their children, but they are making these decisions for other people's kids. And I think there's something wrong with that.
Man, I had one of my cousins tell me one time, and I'm saying, no people pick up dancehall artists, but look at the school that dancehall artists and the pick up to. Pure private school or big money school with tutor. They're not foolish.
Yeah.
What people might tell somebody else, they won't do with their own kids.
Yeah. All right. Before the game, you need to join the show, man. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Dwight. Thanks. Yeah, man. Thanks as usual for your input. Yeah. Yeah. Before the game, you need to join the show, man. So you're saying that, listen, one thing we have come to understand from our discussions and our dialogue is that, and we know this, we know, number one, that if we're thinking about developing footballers, schoolboy football plays a minute role after the kids reach a certain age. I believe that after 14, the talented kids don't benefit from schoolboy football, because you're either exceptional in terms of your development or you're failing. And at that point, I don't believe our schooling infrastructure provides the necessary things for them to develop into world-class footballers. Therefore, if we have kids who want to be world-class footballers, at that point, there needs to be a transition. Don't keep them in the school for 5 more years. Because what they're doing is that many of them don't end up being high achievers academically, and it stagnates their footballing growth and development. So between 14 to 15, they really don't move on the footballing scale, and not a lot of them move on the educational scale. I am saying that why not put them in a better footballing environment, seeing that they're a whole lot better in that environment. Yeah, but I understand that it is a decision as well, Drew, that it is the parents who ought to make that decision. But we also are admitting that we have children having children. And where some parents can't make the best decision for their kids, as a society, we can't basically live with the mentality, well, if they want to make them kids, that for them. No. At the end of the day, we need to help make everybody's life better. Not just our families and our children. We have to look out for all of the children. Whisper is a one in a million, you know, or 1 in a billion. And Whisper didn't do a lot of. I'd love for to couple of things. Whisper is a cut above the rest of footballers. How many years of schoolboy football Whisper played? Just check it. He didn't play a lot. And look what has happened. He's gone on because Whisper could have gone back into school for probably 2 or 3 more years. It would not have benefited him. So in that case, I think that decision, no, he may not be as bright as some of the kids in his same age group. He may not be. But what he has done is that he has dedicated himself, and his parents made that decision to the thing that he's most talented in doing, and it is paying off. Hey, Toughy Rudy, big point. Clap on for Tough. Hey, them thing have them on super sticker and super chat. I think at 14 to 15, the talented kids help the school. The school team doesn't help their development. The solution I'm hearing would not benefit the sixth formers that want to play, but doesn't have the talent to go to the next level. So here's what I've always said. Sixth form is like junior college. Teams, I think they can have some sort of partnership because a lot of these kids, by the time they reach upper six, they already apply to university, you know. They can go and play or try out for the university teams. I don't know if that is possible. So our intercal football standard need to change and improve. So intercal need to step in and plug the gap for our 18-year-old who are not going to be professional footballers, but probably still want to play the sport. Intercal. There's a time when intercal did hot, you know. When UE and UTEC and GC faster, you know, when intercal football was hot, you know. Yeah, tell you, you know. When you have Patrick Graham and all of them man, Jason Morris, all of them man, they are playing now. So maybe that's what we need to do. Find a way to lift the level of intercal. You understand me? Yeah? All right. So now that we have done that, you know, one of the things we want to do as well today is that's the schoolboy football thing. So we started at the end. Oh, we have Andre coming on. I want him to, yeah, maybe I need to hear from Andre. Can give me it from a Trinidad and Tobago perspective. I want him to, yeah, maybe I need to hear from Andre. Getting some feedback in the background there, you know, Mr. Andre.
Hold on. Yeah, it's all gone now?
Yeah, it's gone now.
How you doing, management?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I couldn't be better. Couldn't be better.
Awesome.
Sunny outside. Not cool as yet. Good weather.
Oh. We have a lots of things that I want to get your thoughts on, you know. We have been having discussions about party till we're 40 as professional footballers.
Party till we're 40.
Yeah, and drink until we're pink as professional footballers. And gamble till there is a rumble. A rumble in the jungle. You understand me? You know, should those be allowed or not? Should there be rules? That's one thing. The other thing that we have been discussing is the two young Trinis coming to play in Jamaica. You know, at 19 years old, we understand made their senior debut for the national team, and they are going to be playing their trade at Mount Pleasant. What is that like? What is the feeling in Trinidad? If you're aware, the success of Trinidad so far in Nations League, at least on the field. And this present argument about kids playing high school football who have played for under 20, played in under 20 qualifiers, who are starters in Premier League teams and going back to play in schoolboy football. So what is your take on those things?
Look, when you, and I've heard some of the discussions over the past few days since the window, and when you talk about professional players, I think my position is this. I think I've heard your argument that you cannot set curfews for pro players, and I would agree with that. I said, but what I do understand as somebody who's been around the game at all levels is that players need to be professional and the coach need to set standards. Players need to be educated. So what I'm aware that happens is that players get information from the football clubs. The importance of sleep. You know, power naps during the day, the hours of the night that is most important for them to rest. Players get information on nutrition. Players get information on a whole sorts of things that help them be able to perform on a high level. And if you're a professional, and professionalism doesn't mean you get paid. Professionalism is about behavior, right? And that happens very early on in your life. If you have the discipline and you have the qualities that is required to be a professional, then you wouldn't need anyone to set you a curfew. You will behave in a way that puts you in a position to perform at the highest level. But the coach must set standards, must have these conversations and remind people sometimes that, hey, this is why we are here. We are here for this purpose and this purpose only. So if someone or players decide, and I've seen this over the decades with Caribbean players, in particular, that's what we're talking about now. I've seen where players believe that it's okay to go party in between games and that kind of stuff. Players here, as far as I know, they sometimes will party after a game, but it's not an option before a game, because they know that not that they're representing the club, they're representing the family, they're representing the teammates, and their teammates that they're going to play with need to be able to depend on them. They must know that when they go onto the pitch, that this individual is prepared to do everything that within the rules of the game to get success, that they could depend on them. They will do their job and others' job because they're prepared for the game. So I think it's the fact that we're having the conversation about professional players, and I'd put professionals in quote at this moment. It's just unfortunate. That's my take on this.
But I understand that even some of the successful Trinidad players in the past, like Dwight York, even at Manchester United and even with Trinidad, Russell Latapi and those guys, they did party, but but they performed.
Well, there have been lots of stories about those guys doing whatever, but when you could perform, but are you performing at the highest level possible? And then if you're someone that that allow your professional career to be tainted by the fact that you engage in unprofessional behavior, whether you perform or not, I think it's going to affect you in the long run. I think in the long run, because some of these guys want to go into coaching after, and people could change, people could evolve, people could grow. But in today's market, leadership is important. That's the most important criteria for being the head coach of any football team or club or whatever, or country or whatever the case may be. You must be a leader. You must be able to lead not just your team, but the federation, the business community, all of the stakeholders. So if you're a player and you're involved, you're in that type of space where you're behaving, where you're going and party before games and stuff, I don't think it's going to do you well in the long run. And it's a bad example for young players who want to have a career in the game. They would think it's okay.
Yeah. All right. Robbie's asking you if it is unprofessional to go out 2 days before a game.
Well, could he put that in context? Go out what? Go to dinner? Go to dinner with other teammates or with your
go to a party. Go to a party with other teammates.
2 days before a game?
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it, because there's lots of science out there today. We have more information today than before, right? We have a lot of information out there that could help players understand how their bodies are affected when they behave in certain ways within certain time frame, right? It's difficult enough that players have to recover 4 days after a game to play in the next game. Recovery for a game can take to reach the highest level that a player needs to get to be able to compete again, right? It takes about 96 hours. They talk it, right? 72 hours could get it done. So when you think about, and the managers talk about that and complain about that all the time, when players playing every 3 or 4 days, the recovery from playing 90 minutes, a 90-minute football match, is very, very difficult to play again in 4 days, especially if you enter into the tail end of your career, what people call a prime. So when you take those things into consideration, if you add to that being up late at night, doesn't matter what you're doing, being up late at night,
it is not best practice, but it is not. Because the truth is, though, Andre, that it may not be the best practice, but it is not unprofessional.
I think, okay, so let me ask you, have you heard anything about the players that are at the top of the game, the Lionel Messi, the Cristiano Ronaldo, and those guys, the Mesut Ozil? Have you heard those guys being talked about in regards to this type of behavior?
Yeah, but you don't. You may not have heard it, but I know that guys party. They party. But
yes, but it's when.
No, but what I'm saying though is that you can't use it because we have not heard, which doesn't mean it has not happened.
It does, and I understand that argument as well, but we're talking about what we know, and what we know, we're talking about the behavior,
So
and how it can affect one's ability to perform. When you're a professional athlete, you're an entertainer, right? And the expectation is that when you go out, you're going to perform, right? You're going to perform to the best of your ability for the football club. And you are supposed to do everything possible to make sure that happen. And if it doesn't happen, it must not be because that you engage in behavior that people could point to and say, maybe this is the reason why, right? Because there's many reasons why you wouldn't perform.
All right. So what I'm saying,
after the game, I think it's okay.
So fine. So, but if I party Friday after the game and Sunday after the game, so the game is Friday, I party Saturday and Sunday. It may not be the best practice, but it is not unprofessional. And what I am saying is that two players can party the same time, both of them go to their beds, and one perform well and the other doesn't. So to say that partying by a certain time affects performance, I find it hard, seeing that we cannot use science to validate it. We can speculate, we can say the best practice, which is what I'm saying. I would not recommend that you go out and party. But to say that if you go out and party, it will lead to poor performance when you have enough rest and recovery time, don't make sense to me.
It will. To say it will, I would agree with you, is wrong. But to say it can,
exactly.
To say it can is a more reasonable perspective on it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're talking about. Look, there's people that make sacrifices to go watch football matches, tremendous sacrifices. Players are paid a lot of money and to play football, to entertain. And we can't take the people that, if we take in England, for example, guys work all week and the first thing they do is buy the ticket to go to the game. Okay. And they travel home and away. And I think a player has a responsibility to put himself in a position to make that effort worth the while. Same thing, international football. International football, if you take the region in particular, if you take Trinidad, Jamaica, if you are flying from Europe to come and play international football, right? The travel alone puts a strain on the body.
Agreed.
That's number one, right? You don't have enough time to recover from that.
Agreed. The weather conditions as well.
Weather condition changes, right? Then you come in and you decide that you're going to engage in behaviors that could add further stress to the body. I think that is, not only is it unprofessional, but it might be taking the fans for granted. Because at the end of the day, as players, we have to be coming in to make the country proud. As players, we have to be coming in to make the country proud. And we shouldn't be involved in anything that adds further stress to the body, because it's difficult for the body to recover after playing 90 minutes. As I said earlier, it can take up to 96 hours.
And listen, while I agree with what you have just said, again, though, to the categorizing of something as unprofessional, it is different from saying it is not the best practice. For example, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, when he was scoring lots of goals, used to party and drink. As he got older, he changed his diet and his behavioral patterns. Tony Adams, an Arsenal captain, used to be drunk at times, but he still was part of that team that finished the Premier League undefeated and was playing for England and did well. So I'm saying that sometimes different players, and that is why I think it is the onus is on the players, because you must know how your body works. You must listen to the science. You must listen to reasoning. You must listen to what people are saying. You must listen to the fact that you need good recovery. Stay away from these kind of food and stuff. You need to get all of that information, but the decision that is made must be you as an individual, because like you said, you could become a coach down the road. Problems normally happens at parties. You probably get drunk and make a bad. So all of those things you need to consider, because you're not just a player on the field, but you have a image to protect. Kevin Williams, what?
I'll tell you before you deal with Kevin. Before you deal with Kevin, don't let Kevin.
No. Because you have these people. I don't know if they're Kevin. You know I respect you, but I would like to call you and you tell me what am I defending? Tell me the rubbish that I'm defending. Let's reason. So I want you to call in because a lot of you say things, but when you come on to discuss it, you don't make any sense. So this call in and explain to me what is the rubbish. How a coach saying to our players, you can't go out to party. The player can still go out. We have heard of players breaking curfews. The 1998 team qualified when they broke curfew. The under-20 team that went to the World Cup, the players on it said they broke curfew. The under-17 team broke curfew. Tapa had curfew, and the team broke and they went to 2 World Cup finals. What are you talking about? Unless someone is disciplined by himself, my brother, whatever rules you put in place, you still go and break it. Because it takes the willpower of people to do certain things, not rules. Because when a man wants to party, you can't put in a rule to stop him. Him still going to do it. What you need to do is let him suffer from the consequences of his decision. So call in and explain to me what is the rubbish I am defending.
Let me take this to the next space for your management. And maybe this behavior is the reason why sometimes we struggle to be successful in the region. I'm working on this right now with some of the young kids that I work with. There's something called a winning mentality. And a winning mentality have characteristics. Yes, part of it. A professional with a winning mentality behaves in certain ways. So I'll give you a couple of the things that I've been working with recently. Part of a winning, among other things, part of a winning mentality includes focus and concentration.
Sorry I have to cut you, but like I have to take time to explain. Kevin, tell me one person who you have heard said it is right for players to drink and get drunk. Tell me one person you have heard said it is right for players to go out and party. Tell me one person. Tell me one person. So all of you are tell me one person who said that. Tell me where you heard somebody saying that players must go out and party right before a game. Go ahead and tell me. Find the clip of me or any person, Andre, or any person on the platform saying that. So let me say this to you again, right? You can call what a player do as not best practice. Understand that. What you do is that when the players don't perform, you pull them from the team. I want you to know, and I'll say it again, a lot of you talking about party, you're going to have to name it. So when should they party? Sunday or not until Monday morning? So when you have your team and 8 of them go to the party, are you going to punish one for going to the same party because he has a video? Or all 8 should not play? And the team, so let me give you that. And the team, what do you want? So any person who goes to the party are the one who you see on video. Who should not play? All who go to the party, you drop them and forfeit the game. And that I agree with all of you because I'm a man of Christian belief. So we need to make a rule. Anybody who come on any trip to play for Jamaica and go to party, they must be kicked from the roster and Jamaica forfeit the game. I agree with that. Let that be the principle that govern how we practice. Or we get some JPL players to play the game. Come on, man. Let's reason sensibly. Nobody's saying that players should go out and party. What we are saying is that putting in a rule about it will not stop them. Because I said it to you, the coaches will come and talk if you call them. Carl Brown, Jeffrey Maxwell, Rene Simmonds, Winifred Schaefer, Alfredo Monteso, Wendell Downswell. All of these people, when they were coaching the team, all of them had, Tapa Whitmore had curfew and people still went out to party. Because curfews don't stop people from doing what they want to do. Come on, man. Don't be brainwashed by what you hear. Listen to what I am saying and the discussion we're having. Nobody on this. Nobody has been saying that. Yeah, man, players to go out and party. Nobody. Nobody. All right, so I'll leave the rest of you to say what you want to say. Go ahead now, Andrew.
So let's look. What is professionalism? Professionalism is defined in some places as conducting oneself responsibly, conducting oneself with integrity, accountability, and excellence. So is it responsible as a professional athlete to party and consume alcohol before a game?
Like when before the game, though?
The night before the game, 2 nights before the game.
So if I stay home, all right. So if I
is it
stay
responsible?
Home, yeah, but I'm saying that I am saying there are people who drink a tonic wine that has alcohol. Am I supposed to believe that if from 17 I do this and I'm scoring it every game, if I drink a tonic wine that has alcohol in it before I play, that is not a banned substance, I am unprofessional?
No. Let's not quibble. let's not
but
quibble.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's let's talk about what we're talking about in the broader context with an athlete, whether it's a footballer, an American footballer, a baseball player, going out a night or two before the game and consuming alcohol and being out late at night. Is that responsible?
There you go. I am saying it is irresponsible to have any sort of sporting discipline, whether for club or country, and you have bad practices leading up to that, because it has proven that it affects your performance. So we believe it is bad practice. It is bad practice. But what I'm saying, I also believe it is bad practice to be in your room. I believe it is bad practice to stay in your room all night and play an Xbox or a PlayStation, playing FIFA a day before the game. I also believe it is bad practice to stay up a night before the game until early morning, reading your Bible and praying because you don't get enough rest. But to tell a person you're not going to be allowed to read your Bible, you're not going to be allowed to pray because you're going to go to you cannot set those rules. Individuals must take that on themselves.
So again, and you're right, individuals must take back on themselves. But again, we have to educate people with information. So if a player understands that if he sleeps this time of the night, these hours, or that it's better for him, for his ability to perform, then not all of the things that you mentioned, we would be able to do it responsibly.
Exactly.
So I was trying to make the point earlier about a winning mentality, right? One of the characteristics of it is focus and concentration, right? And it says that individuals with a winning mentality stay focused on their goals and maintain high level of concentration. One of them is preparation. These individuals understand the importance of preparation and work diligently to be well prepared, right? So if we just take those two characteristics alone, right? Does partying a night or two before a game, potentially consuming alcohol, that put you in the best prepared position to perform?
I'd prefer if we said if staying up late.
That
Because
okay, that's fine.
You don't have to party to be up
All right,
late.
so let's say staying up late. Let's say staying up, because that
And
puts you in the best position to be.
Definitely not. So here
Right.
is my.
So then that's why it's unprofessional, because it's not responsible behavior.
Okay, fine. But here's my position.
Responsible behavior.
Here's my position. This is where now I'm trying to get people to come to as a coach. So I believe, for example, do you know that if Leon Bailey did not play in the game, because seeing that people calling his name, if he did not play in the game, people would not have a problem, really, because they wouldn't have anything to match up his performance on part. All right.
Right, and that's why I don't want the conversation to be about no one individual.
Exactly.
I don't want to personalize it.
But here is my position.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's very simple. A coach's job is to see to it that his players perform. When player don't perform, the coach is not necessarily responsible to find out all the intricate details and reasons why the player. They are not necessarily responsible for that. Because some of those things, maybe you can have conversations with the player. But here's what, your job is dependent on the team's performance. So if someone is not performing in the coach's eyes, the coach needs to make a decision on that player based on his performance. And I'll say this because I can stay up until the wee hours of the morning, reading my Bible, praying, reading books, playing on my PlayStation, right? And I perform poorly. You go to party, you come in late, but you perform well. Should the person be dropped who performed well because he partied, but I get to play because I performed poorly, but I never went out, but I stayed up late?
This is one of the things that one thing I'd like to with what you just said. A coach, and it could be at all levels. One of the most important responsibility of a coach is to provide leadership, right? Is to provide leadership. You see it at all levels. Any coaching education that you do currently, they will outline the task of a coach, and depend on a national team is a little bit different, but leadership is the one thing that is in at every level. So I think the responsibility of a coach is to create an environment, what we call a performance environment, where there are standards that professional players are happy to respect, okay, and follow, because it's conducive to the best performances on game day, right? I think that's the responsibility of a coach. And while we're talking about, because you must agree that at Real Madrid, that's not an issue. I don't think it would be.
What is not an issue?
I don't think it would be an issue with the coach saying these are the standards, this is our expectation of you, this is the reason why, and players follow that.
So all right. So are we
because remember
are we suggesting that the coach has no standards at all?
Which coach? I'm not speaking about any particular coach.
So when I say at Real Madrid, in comparison to what?
To sometimes what happened in our region. We talk. You mentioned earlier that in the past some of our players party and stuff.
But there were standards. Yeah, but there were standards.
You mentioned Dwight and Russell, right? So I'm comparing it to those instances.
All right. Let me give you an example. A lot of these people talking, almost every Jamaican gets something about when they're getting a job in Jamaica. One of the things that is always on the handbook or the code of conduct is punctuality. I guarantee you that most Jamaicans turn up to work late. The question I want to ask is, seeing that there's a standard, why people still turn up to work late?
Because when there's a standard, it has to be enforced. It must be enforced, right? So
Okay.
when people
Now we're getting
step
somewhere.
out the line and
Okay,
culture,
so that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that what we need to do when people come on international break for Jamaica and they go to parties, all of them should be removed from the roster and we get a new set of players. Whenever they are found drinking any alcoholic beverages, they should be removed from the roster and a new set of players come in. That's what Jamaica needs, because Real Madrid can do that, certainly. Pep can do that. So Jamaica should probably go there and do that.
But players are intelligent. Most players are intelligent. They can be educated. And I think it's a matter of, unless a player has a problem, I think it's a matter
but Andre, none of these players, all right, none of these players do not know that these things are not good practices. They're all, here's why.
So you're suggesting that they don't do it at the club, but they do it when they come to the Caribbean?
What I'm saying is that I don't know. What I'm saying that, seeing that we want to lift the standard, simple. Let us lift the standard. Let us make it the standard that if players come on trips to the Caribbean to play for their national teams across the Caribbean and they are found to be partying, some people are saying that they should not have sex in the window, they should not be drinking. Once they do that, once they stay up late, whether it is for playing games, they should be removed from the team's roster and we get new players.
Well, we had that situation a few years ago with Stephen Hart when he was our national team coach, and I think a couple of the senior players was out late, and I think he removed them from the team. I think that's how the story went. Look, at the end of the day, what we have to do is make sure, because if we want to be successful in the region, when our players come in, we have to put them in the best position to be successful. The players also have to respond to that. If we don't have standards or don't uphold the standards, then it will affect performance.
Yeah, and I like this one. We remember when Vin Blaine was putting in all of these rules. We have a call online though, so let me just take the call and then we're going to, because one I think that Vin Blaine was doing was putting in a lot of rules. That was part of the thing. And what happened to Vin Blaine? He was kicked out of the job. So, but sometimes, but let me get Carla, welcome to the show. Good afternoon, you're on I Am Sure Sports.
Hi, man.
Yeah, man.
Hi, man. It's man afternoon. First time calling, but I don't know, always listening.
Yeah, man. This is Anthony. Go ahead. The one I'm talking about are nothing, to be honest. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you are defending a position or you're just trying to have a conversation about it. Cool? Because I'm kind of,
All right.
My thing is that.
Go ahead. Give me your position.
From hearing what you are saying, we understand the whole concept of best practice and all of that jazz, yes. And I realize you keep making mention of some of the persons who break, they break curfew and they break protocols. And I don't know if you understand that you are saying that what they broke simply mean that, it's not supposed to be happening. The fact that there is a rule just simply mean that they're breaking it. It annoys me to hear you actually saying that.
No, what is
it's as if there shouldn't be, it shouldn't be, and this is what I'm getting, It annoys me to hear you putting a position as if there shouldn't be the rule that saying that there should be a curfew. Because if there's a curfew, it is going to be broken by half of the team, one of the team, or two of the teams. And I'm saying I can't see how you are going to compare somebody who is probably in the room, Manningsman. Let's say them stretch out them foot and them sofa, but because of anxiety or whatever it is, they're not sleeping. A bad practice. They're not sleeping, but they're sitting down in the room.
Okay.
Yes, versus somebody who is in a party, just using, for example, the same scenario, who is in a party, more than likely weed smoking, we don't know what else is smoking, you're taking in all of that jazz. The fact that you have a game, let's say in 48 hours afterwards, how then could you be comparing that person at home to the person who is actually in a party, which are two professional players?
All right, so let's break it down. All right, what is the important thing, and Andre says this, is rest and recovery. All right, so the important thing is the player getting rest. So the example, the hypothetical situation I use is this. If I go to a party, I come in at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning, which is something that many people have been saying. I come in 2 o'clock Monday morning, as an example, right? I come in and I play in a game and I perform. You stayed in your room and you stayed up playing games or reading books and you did not perform. Who should be dropped from the team? The one who did not perform or the one that performed?
Obviously, if you're looking about the team best performance, you're going to drop the player that didn't perform. Fine, we all know that.
All right.
You're going to drop the player who didn't perform. But I'm saying management.
No,
I think what some of the other persons here are saying management is not the Mr. Andre here spoke about several things that may or may not affect a player's performance. Traveling, a whole heap of things, a whole long list of things that could affect his performance.
Yeah.
And then no, you are going to tell me that we should not have the rule to govern players where certain practices are concerned.
Let's bring that. No. You see you're gone now. So nobody said we should have no rules. The issue you have,
but the fact that you're emphasizing self-control.
No. Here's
you
what.
keep emphasizing self-control.
There shouldn't be a rule. You see, I allow you to speak. Let me tell you this, right?
Yeah,
and we said it yesterday. There are two things. The best governance is not governance. I'm talking about life governance. Is not governance that is dictated by rules, but self-governance. When a person becomes an adult, they have to be at the place to make decisions that govern themselves, because self-discipline or self-development demands self-discipline. And undisciplined persons cannot be governed by rules because they already have inherent, they have already inherent in them to break the rules. And at some point they are going to. But when, like Andre saying, where we agree on, when I understand the value of my brand, when I understand the value of my image, when I understand that I will be dropped if I don't perform, then I discipline myself to do the right things. Because what the coaches over me will not do is delve into the intricacies of my life to find out what I'm doing that is affecting my performance. That's up to me to identify and do what is right. The coach's job is that, listen, so and so, you didn't perform Tuesday in the Haiti game. I am not calling you for the next squad. Watch this. It's not indiscipline, my friend. It's undisciplined. Check it out.
Let me share this, man.
Hold on, Andre. Hold on. So the coach drops the player. The player now says, well, you know what, I realized I never played good in the last game because of this and because of this. I need to stop these things. The coach, because there are different things, sex can affect a player's performance. But it has also proven that sex boosts other players' performance. Being on a high adrenaline parties scientifically has proven to boost some players' performance, while for some, it has taken from it. So we can't create like a one standard for everyone without putting things in context. That's what I'm saying. Most of this must be governed by the players themselves, for even the rules to make sense. So now I know you wanted to interject, so you go ahead and then Andre will talk. The word is undisciplined, not indisciplined. Go ahead.
Right.
Let him go ahead, Andre, and then you can go.
Let me see if I can do this quickly. You spoke about self-governance. And again, I'm saying, before I go, can I just answer this question for me? Just answer this for me. Is it that you're saying self-governance over rules? That's what I'm asking.
For person, all right, go ahead, Andre. You want to go ahead, or you want me to answer first?
You go ahead and answer first.
All right. So here's what. Regardless of what the speed limit is, I control my driving. I don't drive according to the speed limit. I try to be responsible in my driving. You know why? Because I consider my kids them. If I am going to allow my driving to be dictated by speed limit, I don't care about it must be dictated by my love for my family and the purpose that is on my life. So I discipline myself as best as I can to drive within a range that I can control the motor vehicle I am in. And if the speed limit is there and I don't have that in me, then I'm going to break it. And then there are consequences. So that's what I'm saying to you. There are consequences, and there should be consequences for not performing. Go ahead.
I'm going to go now because I'm actually. But let me say this before I go down. Let me say this before I go down. In a perfect world, in a perfect world, I would say yes, perfect example. But we all know in this world that we live in. It's not perfect. And everybody's not the same.
He's breaking up bad.
Yeah, you're breaking up. You're breaking up bad. Oh my God, I want to hear what you're saying. You're hearing Andre?
He's breaking up.
Yeah, it's cracking. It's cracking up. Yeah. Call us touch time. As soon as you call back, I'll let you come on it. Yeah, or something. I don't know, Anthony. Yeah.
You made a point just now, and I want you to give me the right statement because I know I can't quote you exactly. You said something that is not the coach's responsibility. I'm paraphrasing you to say, to look into what a player's doing, why he's performing bad.
Yeah. So in university, right? You have a major and you have a minor.
Uh-huh.
A coach major job is the overall performance of the team. The minor is to check certain players.
Right. So let me ask you this. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rich Allison played for Brazil recently.
Yes.
He was taken off in the game. He missed a very easy or a couple of easy chances.
Is Richarlison Brazilian?
Yeah.
Richarlison is Brazilian?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Don't play like one.
So that's the point I'm going to make. He's been having a hard time, right?
Yeah.
And people have been on him. Do you think? And he eventually came out and said that he's been having problems in his personal life. Do you think that the coach? It's a responsibility of the coach to want to know that.
Of course.
Excellent.
Listen,
right.
You're hitting the nail on the head. But you're agreeing with me.
No, I am agreeing that it is the responsibility of the coach. Yes, the coach has to know that. No. I
think you're not.
Let me make this point to you. When I go to practice, when the evening comes, I ask my players every afternoon, is everyone okay? How was your day?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Because I think sometimes. So let me ask you: when you go to a match day, do you go and say, "All right, any of your drink last night? Any of your party last night?" When a game is finished and a player plays bad, do you say, "Excuse me, you played bad. Did you party last night? Were you drinking last night?" John, you don't do that.
With young players, there are other reasons. It could be that he was trying to fulfill his dad objectives, right? So you would try to figure out what happened on that particular day. If you know a player could perform on a particular standard and he doesn't, right? You as a coach, you would want to know why. You may not ask him those questions, but you would evaluate his performance,
of course. So
the environment. But hold on. You would also know, there's a difference here now that we're talking about. We're dealing with young players versus professional players. With young players, they involve in professional behavior because they understand, because you are teaching, and you would guide them and you would say to them, hey, you need to go to bed on time.
Andre, every time you guys go to this point, what you're making it sound is like we are not people. We are
people.
All right. So people, let's not make the point like man is saying that society and life must have no rules.
No. I don't believe you're saying that.
That's what this person is saying, like a society, an organization without rules and expectation. Listen, do not say the national, they have rules. They have rules, their expectations, their goals, their targets. Nobody's saying that organizations. You have heard me come on this and talk about having vision, a preferred future. What do we want? 5-year plan. We're not saying that. We're talking about a specific thing. One thing.
But I think you answered the question already, because if if
Yeah,
part
but
of
they keep coming back. They keep
if
coming back up with the same thing. So everybody believes. So here's what the fans of Jamaica football believe. Because I can tell you, I spoke to people in Sweden, and the Swedish football team don't have a curfew rule for their national team. I spoke to people in Spain. The Spanish national team don't have a curfew. They have rules, some of the same rules. Same thing in Iceland. In Netherlands, they don't have curfew rules. And here's what. A lot of these issues they don't have. Not because they don't have the rule, but because the players
are professionals.
Are professionals.
Right? And so, when you're a professional, let me finish for you. You act responsibly, you act with integrity, you are accountable, and you act with excellence. And so that's why I think it can be categorized as unprofessional, because we made the point earlier that is irresponsible to go party.
But we're not arguing that though, Andre.
Right. So we clear on that. I mean, sometimes the comments in the chat we'll keep going on and on if we deal with some of them. So, but I think it's clear that in the region we can do better. Right? And all coaches, whether you're a national team coach, a club coach, or a professional coach, your ultimate responsibility is to provide good leadership.
Hey, listen, somebody just said called on by Brazil. I interviewed Rene Simmonds, Alfredo Montesa. Let me help you. Let me help you again. And you can talk to former reggae boys. When Rene Simmonds came, he spoke about the undisciplined attitude and the unprofessionalism of the Jamaican players. It had to do with training, how they attired themselves. So it was like you had kids who never understood what professional football was like. He did several things, from how they were attired to training time, living, eating, the entertainment culture. He had to even remember what one of the things that Rene Simmonds said is that he had to bring in. It was so difficult for him because he had to bring in like professional players to get the local base players to a level of professionalism. Mm-hmm. Because he was coming from a culture where they didn't have many of those things. They don't go around and tell the Brazilian players how to dress and not to go out and do those things. He said all of those things, you know. He said all of those things. I am saying to you, we have what we believe are a group of players playing at the highest level. You all do not think all of these players know that if they stay up until 6 o'clock before a game, it's going to affect their performance. And so therefore, what you are saying is that what the coach must do is have a curfew of 10 o'clock for when people are 12 o'clock for when people come. No, that's what you're saying. And the coach must have a rule about when is the last time they have sex before their games.
I am not saying that.
No,
let
man,
me ask you a question.
I'm just asking you. Like, I want to see some of these rules that people want to be implemented.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Let me just finish, because what I believe when players do things that affect their performance, the best way to deal with it is to drop them from the team. Because what we do in Jamaica is, if one man in the class make noise, we make rules, say everybody will get suspension if somebody is dark. And so what we have been doing as a society is punishing people who have done us no wrong, because we are afraid to call out the one individual and take action about them. So we take everybody and throw them in a one big pile and say, let's make all of them suffer, because we cannot. So make everybody suffer in the community there, because we are afraid to take action against a Don. We are afraid to take action against that person. Society has to change. Come on, man. And then I'm going to move on to the girls' football.
I hear that argument. And but I think this situation is a little harder to apply to. Let me ask you a question. If the players know what is best practices, right? What is best behavior?
Hey, listen.
What,
Let me just
hold
say
on.
this, Andre. No, hold on, Andre. I need to say this. Listen, I agree with you. When I say I agree with you, you all are saying that's not what you're saying. So I am saying, fine, I concede. When players party, they should be kicked out of the Jamaica team. May I agree with all of you? So players should not party. Players should not have sex before them have game. They should not drink alcohol. I agree. It is unprofessional. It should not be done. They should be dropped out of the Jamaica national team. Any player, male or female, who has sex, who party when they are invited to a national setup, who drink alcohol, should be dropped. I agree with you. Standards are standards. And if we don't have standards, the team is going to fail because we have been failing because we have no standards. And when we raise our standards, then the team will perform well. I agree. Andre, you can go ahead. We're done now.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If the players know better, right? And there's always saying you could only do better when you know better. So if the players know better, because they are in environments that demands or require or hold them to a standard that they have to behave different. Why it is when they come to the region they behave different? Why you think that is?
I can't. That's a question that how am I? You'd have to tell because I don't know why players when they is first thing I'd have to believe. I would have to believe that it is only people in the Caribbean who act that way. Yeah,
no. We are speaking about the region. That's why I'm asking.
I listen. I don't know why a player would feel that way. I don't know that they don't do it at their clubs. It's just not videoed. We're assuming that they don't. We are assuming that they don't do it elsewhere.
They're in. If we talk about,
we're assuming because we don't know. What happened is that we don't. For example, we don't
remember
know.
this. Remember this. Remember a professional player in England, for example. The minute he goes out his door, everybody knows him, right? If he's here in America or in the region, he can go out and not be noticed by people. So it's less likely.
I feel like we're going very circular, Andre. What is your thing? That players should not party. That is your rule.
Me? No. I am saying.
Right.
You asking me?
Yeah. So what is because
players should be professional. Players should be professional.
So you consider partying as being unprofessional for a football?
It's irresponsible, which makes it unprofessional. Yes.
All right. So partying is irresponsible. It's unprofessional.
Or any activity that would make it difficult for you to perform.
So drinking alcohol is also unprofessional for a footballer.
Yes, in today's market, yes.
And so having sex close to game time is also unprofessional.
That one I'm not good. You can't tell.
But science has proven that.
No. That's not my argument. I've never made that argument.
Okay, so the only problem you have that players should not party and players should not drink alcohol because it is unprofessional and irresponsible.
Before the game. It's irresponsible, which makes it...
So drinking alcohol is irresponsible, like 48 hours before the game. So 48 hours...
Yeah, because it affects your body. We have the data on that. We have the data on those things.
All right. So, yeah, man. We don't need no data. So 48 hours before a game, players should not drink alcohol. 48 hours before a game, a player should not party.
You see, this is what we have to take into consideration. The demands that is placed on an athlete body.
No, man. Man. I agree. Listen.
Right.
All right. Listen. All right. So what time professional players should go to bed 48 hours before their game?
Everybody is different, right?
If I go to a party that ends at 6 o'clock in the evening and I go home, so I go to an early party before the game and it ends at 6 o'clock, is that still wrong?
I think we are taking it into a different space. I don't think the issue.
So the argument then, which is what I'm getting to, the argument is not going to the party. Because you have to tell me that if 48 hours before my game, my son has his birthday, I cannot attend it. Or my daughter or my wife, I cannot attend it.
I think that's a different. I think that's a different argument. A party for your son or your daughter would happen in the evening.
So that is what I'm saying. So it is but you see what the point I am making, Andre, is that all of these people are talking. If their daughter had a party and it was at their house and there was no video, here's what would happen. they would be at the party and probably finish packing up at 12. Is that right?
Good afternoon. Is this Show
we
Sports?
hear you. All right. So the point I am making is that we need to put things in context. While we can say that a lot of people don't agree with what they saw from players, listen, it's neither here nor there for me. Because I will say to you, way before some of the players were not playing well, way before anybody saw videos of parties, they were saying the players were not playing well. So players must be dropped based on their performance. Because before that, we were saying the players were not playing well. And the coach's job, this idea that you cannot have party, you cannot do this, those things cannot stop because the players could have been locked up in their hotel room or at somebody's house and have a party. So I don't understand. Is partying the issue, or is it staying up late is the issue? Is it drinking any alcoholic substance, or is it doing it in public and consuming more than an adequate amount? What is the standard? Because we can't say standard and we don't have specific to guide those standards. We can't say no party, but you can go to your birthday party. We can't say no dance, but you can go to a 9-night for your family. That in Jamaica is a party. What is the conversation? What is the standard? And a lot of the people who are talking, they have no specific standard. They just have, based on what they saw, they create something in their mind, but they cannot put together a policy that governs it. Because there's no such standard. Brother, we hear you, no man. If you know, if you hear we have we have a discussion. So if you never did one wait, you should know. Walk one cataract.
You can send me a link. This is such an important topic that I am willing. I'm turning on my camera. I am coming on to get at this topic for you. Because I believe it's of such importance.
All right, let me send
it. So send me the link. I will come on. Andre, call the United Nations, call the Secretary General of CARICOM, because for the first time, you and I will be agreeing on many things.
Yeah.
I'm pretty surprised. Send the link. I will join. I will.
Yeah, so that is my, and listen, all people are talking, listen, you know what is me, you know, but I call up people name, you know, because I'm not driven by people. Independent, I'm an independent thing. When I had my team, I run football team, and I've said this before, my players could not smoke because I knew where I was taking them from, and I saw that. You cannot have policies like this. Too often, our culture create rules for the minority or for the majority because they're afraid of dealing with the issue. It's a very simple thing, man. You have a problem and a man not performing, you drop the person who is not performing.
So, good afternoon again, man. Good afternoon, Andre. Good afternoon, Reggae Boys fans, Reggae Boys family. Thank you, man, for hosting and dealing with what is a very topical issue.
Yeah.
And I want to start by saying I first heard your soliloquy on this matter on Sunday, but I was at another place, and I wondered. So let me take. Hold on, sir.
On Sunday, do not tell any lie on me, sir.
No, I said I saw it on Sunday.
Oh,
I saw it on Sunday.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
And my first point was I wondered if the book of Exodus had missed you, because certainly there were 10 commandments or 10 rules or 10 laws which governed how the creator felt that man should behave. So even from that point, allow me to finish, even from that point, rules existed. So let me go to the thing about the birthday party where you came to. We're going to have a civil discussion. Hold on.
Don't challenge me. Don't challenge me on the Bible.
Hold on, man. You said you wanted a civil discussion.
Don't challenge me on the Bible because you're wrong.
What?
So what rule do we? What laws? What are the laws that govern us in the New Testament?
I didn't say New Testament. I said Exodus. The book of Exodus is in the Old Testament. And
Anyway,
the one that governs us, and the one that governs us in the New Testament is love thy neighbor as you love thyself.
boy, continue with it. Continue with it. What you call
Isn't
it?
that what they say?
Your mother.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
continue with your mother.
It hasn't reached the log yet because you've interrupted me. So there is a sign that says there is a speed limit on a road.
Yeah.
However, if you have a victim who is going to die and is in a medical emergency, you can put on your hazard lights and break the speed limit and go through cautiously through the red light to get that person to save life and get them to the medical facility. So because that exists doesn't mean that there is not need for a 30 mile per hour speed limit, which is a law, and it's reduced to half of that in a school zone. And to say that because people know that children are playing in the school zone, they must self-regulate themselves.
Who said that?
Oh yes, you did. You said that players.
Hey, no. Hey, no. You just use the example about in the school and self-regulate.
It's a school zone.
And you said I said that?
No. I said your assertion that you can't apply rules.
Did I say you can't apply rules?
Hold on now, man. For behavior.
I did not say it. So you are saying that I have said that there should be no rules. Did I say
sir.
that?
No, sir. To govern how people behave, what you are advocating for was self-regulation, self-discipline.
Let me say this again.
Okay, go ahead.
Best form of governance is not by rules. It is self-governance. Until people inherently want to do what is right, adults, rules cannot guide them. If rules could guide people by themselves without people having this inherent desire to do what is right, if rules could guide them, the laws of Jamaica would not permit people to do crimes.
Okay, so I'm saying to you're saying that the rule exists that we drive 30 miles per hour around the city of Kingston. And because people with regularity break that rule, should we or should we not have it?
I use a perfect example. I said.
No, I just asked you a question. I didn't not that example.
So you can't tell me how to answer, do you know? And Andre was here when I said this. My adherence to whatever the speed limit is has nothing to do with the 50 or the 80. Inside of me, embedded in me, is a care for my life, for the other motorists, and my children. Therefore, for me, with or without a speed limit, I drive my vehicle at a rate that I believe I can control it. There are speed limits because there are some people who cannot be self-governed, so they need rules. But for me no need speed limit. If you see 10 people there in front of me, if you know something to slow down, me no need a speed limit for that. You may need it. And that is why I'm saying it is not one size fit all.
Okay.
I don't know how you come up with these other things.
So hold on. So I want to say this now and address you. In the instance when a player may have a child's birthday party, I'm speaking on an international platform with Andre, I want picnic party for blow Fifi to the rest of us Jamaicans. He would simply inform the coach and get special permission or special leave around the curfew or non-partying rules if they existed. If they needed to attend a 9 night for their dead mother or dead granny, they may not be in the frame of mind to even be in the team, right? So again, you seek special leave or special permission. But when I had to depart yesterday, I left on the one and I think.
You just said something. Let me just respond to that. Because remember, the key thing, and I think a lot of you are missing this, and this is what Andre keep on emphasizing. It is the importance of rest. If rest is the important factor, it doesn't matter what the nature of the party is. What is important is the rest.
Yes, sir.
Let me finish now, man. The professional player, like Andre is saying, if I have a critical game and my son has a birthday, because I know rest is important, the game cannot change. As a professional, I will change the timing of the birthday to allow me to get enough rest. What I am saying to all of you is that a professional player knows I can go to a party, whatever party it is, but what is more important for my image and for my personal performance, that I get the necessary rest. If my coach has to dictate to me my rest time, Andre is right. It means that it is because I am unprofessional.
So,
A real professional.
you haven't answered the question, though.
So let me tell you this. I am telling you this. I can tell you this, that you would not see East and Pinnock partying past a certain time. I can tell you that.
All right. So I'm not gonna call individual names. I'm gonna say this to you.
Is this what you want? So we can call name.
Hold on, man. Hold on. We're not going to get into. We're not going to get into the name calling. Hold on, because I'm not going to.
Then move on to our next discussion.
I'm not going to pit a player against a player.
Me not pit no player against a player, but all of this is centered around individual.
Mannings, I thought Andre did an excellent job so far, as I've been listening, in framing the discussion in a broad way. So let me just say this. Andre is correct about rest, but it's also what you do in your downtime. And when I left yesterday, Andre, and I said, there's a difference. If you attend a Jehovah's Witnesses child party where there's no alcohol, everybody is seated, your muscles are rested, it's different than if you attend Bacchanal with tons of rum being consumed. So don't let us try to play silly buggers about this like all parties are equal. They're not. The other thing is what you do in your downtime, Andre. If you are serious about a game, even though it's your off time, you could watch footage of other games with the team that you're going to play or the opponent that you're going to fight, as in my case. You can meditate. There are a number of activities that you do that we know can be better for your game, right? And I'll end by saying this. You couldn't answer a question early. When I had a fight that was booked, and I know it was for a championship, or I was representing the university at a competition, or particularly for a championship fight. Just please allow me to finish, and I'll finish in 30 seconds. Andre, once you entered into a training camp for a fight, there was a time at which you're told sexual activity ends, because in our world, the reduction of the thing of testosterone, etc., those are all studied, and it is known in that world that you are not able to perform at your peak if the night before a fight you are enjoying yourself with, let me use the words, several orgasms down the line and waking up 6 o'clock when you have a fight at 11 or 2 p.m. That is proven. I don't know if the same in the football world, because it's a team sport. It may or may not be the same. But you ask and go and look at any boxer or any MMA fighter, and you look at where they say or Google what they say about that. That's something that's a restricted activity once you enter into the final phase of your preparation camp. I end there.
You are my searching.
Andre, what do you have to say? Because I don't have a
Look,
clue.
I think in the region, if we wanna come out of, for lack of a better way, the
We have
condition.
Soldier online. So as soon as we finish, we're gonna get Soldier, and then we go to
Yeah,
the
if we want to
women's
come
game.
out from
Right.
the condition that we have been in and want to be competitive and have success in the game, I think we have to behave different, right? And I have learned over the past couple of decades that standards are very important to put in place, and being a professional demands that you cannot do what others do if you're a professional athlete, right? You have to be different. You have to live a different lifestyle. You have to behave a different life, behave differently, because you would not, as a professional athlete, you do not get to do what everybody else does during the time you're an athlete. But you can do what everybody else has done after you finish playing, but you'll also get, while playing, to do what everybody else doesn't get to do. So you get the best of both worlds, and managing that, I think, is important. So as a professional, you have games, you come in, if we take national team football, you come in for games, that's got to be a focus. You've got to be preparing. The time is short in between games, the time is short, and preparation is key. All right, preparation is key. We got to be focused. We got to concentrate. And those are the little details. The details is what helps us be able to be successful. It could be the difference between 1 point and 3 points.
Okay, all right. Soldier, you're on the line for a while. Go ahead. Let me hear from you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, me just get back. I went to sleep and get back and just turn on your show and just big bless up you and Angie and Ketterak, and me hear the conversation. Me never know where it start from. I just hear when I was talking about discipline. So when I catch it is when I was talking about the speed limit, and so me not really know where it coming from. So me can't have much to say about with that. So me just come in and bless up the man them and them thing there, because jet lag still, you know. But as me said, me come and when out here I go on. So away from that, it was some discipline thing. I don't know what it is, so me can jump in and say anything.
I have a question for Soji, if you don't know.
Best of say, I hear you. I see management at Cataract, the big selector at the conference, you know. Cataract, the big selector.
Like when I mean big select, but there was only there were more than one.
No, me no know. Every minute we never talk about Cataract name announced on the mic. So
no, but that's not his name. That's the name of the song.
Oh no, they called my name too. They called me by name as well.
He named Blue Eye Biggs.
They called me by name as well. Right. But no, Soji, I want to ask a question. The question I asked was two things. There were two questions, Soji.
Soji and Keter, I don't want no politics for me thing,
no, man, Soji, I want to ask you a football question, man. The two questions we had were, one, should a player 48 hours before a game is partying 48 hours before a game beneficial or detrimental to a player's performance, and should there be a rule in the camp about that? And secondly, I was saying to management that in my sport, which is the pugilistic sport, martial arts and boxing, when we go into the final phase of a training camp, we are not allowed to have sex to be at our full preparedness for a fight. And I'm saying, I don't know if the same applies for the football game, but as a coach and man, you can tell us whether if players should be allowed to have their wives and girlfriends. I know in like England camps, I know the wives and girlfriends are banned from the camp. There's the time for, what is your knowledge of it as a coach about the when up to when is partying doesn't affect your performance, and if 48 hours before a game is too too soon, and it's actually not 48 hours. It would be like about 40 hours before a game.
Cataract, I'm going to have a new rule. Nobody who is on sound system playing 48 hours before my show should come on and be a part of my party, especially if they're drinking alcohol.
I agree with you on that case, because I hear management call a guy, a player name, say within professional, he would never done something like that, which is true. But no, if a player do something like that, when he come in, you don't play him. No matter who he is.
Simple.
If he's Messi or Ronaldo, you don't play him.
If a player don't perform, that's what I'm saying to them. It's simple.
Yeah.
No, man, it's not about the perform. He's talking about if you're out party.
If you're out party, yeah, you don't play him.
Put some again, people. You have to again. I'm trying to help you to make your argument make sense. Don't say party in. You have to have some sort of context to it. You just said it earlier that not all parties are the same, but when you say party, cataract, that is such a broad thing. It cannot be. But
management.
But so we need to move on from this and talk, because we need to talk about some girls football. You understand me? So
yeah. 1 second, me move on from this. But what I'm saying, if you have a match tomorrow and 12 hours before the game, I mean, I don't know what Kataraka said. You're gonna come in to the training camp after. Meanwhile, no one shouldn't hold at that time to come in the hours at night. That means at 12 o'clock at night, because no one should let out of the camp from. It seems schoolboy match. No one is supposed to leave out of the camp from said. All right, tomorrow is the match. No one leave out from today 24 hours before.
Okay,
so you don't leave out 24 hours before. So if you come in the night, when before the game, you just not play.
Okay, so
that's what we see.
So that is 24 hours. Okay, you say 24, Cataract, 48. Some people say 96. Some people say want to come on the international break. Totally understand, everybody. Don't agree with all of them. Some may don't agree with me. But all right. So all I keep on saying to you is that almost we saw videos, but I would say let us, because the thing with Jamaican culture, is that we use laws and rules to convenience. I am saying to you, I want us that when there's a large group of players that does party in before a game, we need to come out and say all 13 of them need to be sent out of the camp. All I'm saying, is that moving ahead, anytime there is a party, 48 hours, and our players are seen, are heard to be there, if it is 11 starters, all 11 of them must be dropped, and we get other players.
Very funny management. Very hilarious. Management.
Hold on. I know you want to move on, management.
Yes.
No, not moving on. I want to respond to him, Andre.
Hold on.
But I'll pause.
Hold on.
Yes.
That's not a good place to move on at. At the end of the day, if you're the coach, a coach for a national team most likely should and probably does pick players to come and represent the country based on their performance at their club, based on their attitude. I saw recently an interview by the Reggae Boys coach where he was talking about the selection of the right back from New York City FC. What's his name? What's his name again? What's the right back name, Cataract?
Gray.
The young boy from New York City.
Gray.
So, and one of the things he mentioned is that every time he saw him on YouTube, he always got a smile on his face. He seemed to have a good personality and a good person to have around. So a coach wants to have in his space not just good players, but players that could be part of an environment that put the team in a position to be successful, right? So do you bring in players that that could interfere with the environment you're trying to create for the players to perform because they engage in behaviors that is inconsistent with what you want, or behavior that could be labeled unprofessional?
So, but I don't know what I'm saying different. I'm saying that the players who are unprofessional in their conduct, that includes, like Cataract says, if they
but don't wrap it around with the entire starting 11, because we know that's not the case.
But you don't know that
No.
that is the case. You don't know. You don't know. Because based on your description of unprofessionalism, maybe all 23 players have acted in unprofessional ways. You don't know. That is the issue. I'm saying that.
So
what we need to do is to check the professional conduct of the players, because while one person, given your definition of unprofessionalism, one person may have partied, a next person may have stayed up gambling, a next person may have stayed up playing games, a next person may have, like I said, had a woman that he was with, a next person may have drunk, a next person may have turned up to training late, a next person may have, so all of those things, when you consider that, let us put rules in place and set high standards so that when players break those rules, they are removed and new players are brought in, even if it is your starting 11, because that is the only way you're going to get change. If you don't make radical decisions, so you're not going to get radical changes. So what we are doing is what. Hey, Keter, all of you make up your face like it in their politics. It don't make no difference what me as I say. What we are doing is we are connecting all poor performances with one unprofessional conduct. Right?
No, man. What you are doing is going from the sublime to the ridiculous.
No.
So let me say this. A player's bad performance may have nothing to do with an unprofessional act. There are other things that may cause that. The coach's job, let me go back to this, is to select players based on competence, character, and chemistry. How do you fit with the team? Are you able to produce what I want you to do it? And your kind of character, which will come into some of these things. Now, like I said, in an event or a case where a player has the time to do things and he does all that the coach demands of him, right? And the coach is fine with that. The next thing that he must be judged on is his performance. If in his free time or the non-coach time, he wants to drink, he wants to party, he wants to have sex, that's up to the player. The player has an image, our players have image and their own career to protect. That is on them. Once they are doing what the coach requires of them, they are competent, there's chemistry with the team, and from what the coach has seen, they are of good character. Then there you are. When the coach finds that they are not performing, the coach have a responsibility to remove them. Where the coach finds that their conduct off the field is affecting the team, the coach has a responsibility to drop them. The coach don't have a responsibility at senior football level to shape and form people behavioral pattern. Adults have a responsibility for that. And you as an adult should be provided with all the necessary information so you can know what is right. It is up to you, because nobody can force you to do what you don't want to do. I am done with this. Period.
So you didn't hold on, Andre, because you interjected and you allowed management to try and get an escape route. Hold on, Soji, let me just respond to manage. First thing,
you have 1 minute, so make it.
First thing, what management does, and I'm going to expose you now, is you see a comment in the section like what Fresh God said. Oh, if all 23, you drop them. And then you move now from the sublime to, let me finish, from the sublime to the ridiculous. If all your starting 11, may I finish, sir? If all your starting 11 is out partying, it means that the coach has lost control of the dressing room. That's what it's called in professional terms. And therefore you have to look at replacing the coach, the management, and the coaching staff, because they would have lost the dressing room. Because a respect for your coach and a respect for your management hierarchy would have you behave in a particular way. No, I am saying that the boundaries are set, basic rules, and I am to understand, and I'll ask management clear, there is a time and there is a place for social activity if it leads to team building and bonding and building chemistry. But it has to be done at a particular time. So if we say, listen, after the last game in the window, we are going to party it like we're heading no good, like we're mad out, fine. If we say after the first game, we party, and then you have a day off to do whatever you want to do, and then you come back in. But I want to understand that there are some rules in my national team camp that blend both social, because if you lock up people in a pen like in a jail, you may not get the best performance. But if you allow them to run riot without rules, you also may not get the...
Why? This is. Hey, listen, we need to leave this because you keep on saying there needs to be.
Let me say so much.
So you have 1 minute. No, we need to get this circular because you're going to talk about there needs to be rules.
No. I said.
What I'm saying.
I am asked.
Hold on, soldier. Who said? We keep on asking you because all we are discussing is curfew. You keep saying there has to be rules.
Yes.
Said,
I never said there was no rules. Who said there were no rules?
Okay, all right. You never said. All right, soldier, go ahead. Argument done. Go ahead, soldier.
No.
Argument start.
What I'm saying, maybe they are going from that. If a rule is rule everywhere, but if it's so, I think it's like you said, okay, we have a match tomorrow. Everybody's supposed to be at the camp 24 hours before match time. And then you say 2200 hours, everybody's supposed to be at their bed. Nobody not supposed to up to get them to get a good night rest. So you have that and somebody check on the places and nobody playing games and anything like that. Everybody gets asleep, then fair play. But nobody not supposed to come in as where Cataract said 12 hours before in a night and then go play a match next man. The coach shouldn't play that person if that happens.
Okay, all right.
Never.
All right, listen. All right. I hear a lot. I don't agree with it, but I hear it. I hear it. All right. Reggae Girlz playing on Friday. People, because some of you talk, and half of you don't go watch the Reggae Boys. See, they know, all right. So them no good. So uno no watch them. Reggae Girlz are gonna play now. Them good. So let's go and watch them. Let's fill up the stadium, buy a ticket and go support them. Them qualify for 2 World Cup, right in a row. Them have Canada and them need no support. Let me see all who are talk. See them now. Buy a ticket and go support them. Team is on fire. Cameron Simmonds is. Hey, all I will say is that the coach need to find a way, in my humble opinion, to fit Cameron Simmonds in the starting 11. Since she has come back from the World Cup, she has been scoring in her college games, right? So I think she need to fit in. Brian Martin says, man, is this caller can't serious me boss. It's possible at the time when the check-in should be going in, the coach is having a good night rest. So whose job it is to be watching the players?
Team manager.
Yeah, man. So
and security. Do you know that on some professional teams there are security assigned to particular players?
Yeah, man. Cataract. Let me say Cataract. You are right. What the coach need to do is have a security to make sure every player.
No. I'm saying to you that there are particular players.
Just repeat what you're saying. You said the man said that you said the security or the team manager, and I'm saying I agree with you that security guard and team manager must be assigned.
I never said guard. I never said guard. Why are you adding words?
So when the man says security, what do you mean?
Team security.
Oh, not the security guard, but
no.
But
I never said. I never said sticky. If I said sticky,
a security guard, a team security, and a team manager must check every room to make.
No. I never said that. I never said that. I was not the person. I was not the person who said that.
All right. So what are they supposed to check when the players go to them bed, or when the players are in them room?
Soji.
So what
I didn't say that.
What did you agree with then?
What I agree with you, I answer the question as to who is responsible for the enforcement of a curfew, and it would be the team manager and the team security,
So are you? Let me
not
ask
the
you this:
coach.
Are you in agreement that there should be 2 persons assigned to ensure that all the players are in their bed sleeping at a particular time at the senior level? Yes or no?
No,
Okay.
I'm not tucking
fine.
anybody into their bed because I also believe there's an element of personal security.
Yo, what I mean?
I fix the sheet because next thing I go want them to say somebody must kiss them good night. No, I am in no way, shape, and form suggesting that. What I'm saying is that between the players, the management, and the coach, there obviously has to be some agreement, and it's known. So if we as the fans know that look, the team curfew is 12 midnight, and we see a man out a chill 11:30, we know it's all right. But if we see a man 4 a.m., we are gonna say, yo, bro. And
Okay.
I don't know if that is there. And the sense that the public has managed when you said no rules were broken, no curfews were broken, the sense that came across to a lot of people was that there is no curfew in place because the videos that they saw, and everybody saw them now, on the Sunday night at Dolly Sundays, had timestamp when they were posted up.
People say they don't have a problem with the Dolly Sunday. Because the Dolly
As a matter of fact, it's not Dolly Sunday is not actually Sunday, you know. Dolly Sunday is not actually Sunday.
No.
It's after midnight, so it's Monday. So it's actually Dolly Monday.
So what I am hearing is that there was a party that he was at, and the players were at Saturday, they were at one on Sunday, and they had whatever Monday, which means that they were up at a party Monday night up until Tuesday morning because they said they were
I didn't know that.
Monday. So
I'm saying when it's Dolly, I'm saying when you say Dolly Monday, I'm saying please do not misquote me again. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. You don't like when people do it to you. I said it says Dolly Sundays, Andre, but in fact, because it's happening after midnight, it's actually Monday.
So
don't say that Cataract is saying that players were up Monday night partying into Tuesday. Don't do that. I never said that.
All right, Cataract is very funny, right? Your picture is very funny because you see how your camera is? It makes this part of your head broad and then your head like...
No, it is not the camera. It's really that my head is swollen because I've become an overnight sensation and my phone keeps ringing off the hook with bookings.
No, it is not. It's not
ever since Sunday. It's my head big. My head just swell with the accolades about how great Cataract juggled on Sunday. And Peter Blacks.
Cataract, if you allow me to
Buddha, you ever play at an event so big yet?
Cataract, all I'm saying is that this part of your face is like this, right? And then you just zoom me like this, like we call it coded man that we used to watch as a kid on TV.
I bet you have somebody say that in I comment.
Yeah.
That's very uncharitable.
Man.
Yeah.
For the ladies game,
yeah.
Me have some friends. If me call them, me come off and call them down there.
Yeah.
If them all come at the match, I beg to get 10 tickets for them. If them want to come, I go buy them and let me know them are come.
Yeah, man, show them and
if them all come,
I
buy 10 grand. I will buy 10 grand stand ticket for them if them coming.
All right, then not a problem. So, we work on that. All right, soldier.
Is it grandstand only, management?
Eh?
Is it grandstand only?
No, man, the entire stadium opening.
Get me number management that man can't talk politics.
All right.
Time come, my friend. Time come.
All right.
So, it's not the whole stadium open, you know. It's not the whole stadium open.
Yeah,
because when we were there from section 6 in bleachers, it's cordoned off.
Cataract.
Yes, sir.
You had access to everywhere on the inside, but not all the gates were opened.
No. In the bleachers, there are barriers placed in the walkway to get, so you cannot get to
All right.
anywhere past section 6. You can't get to section 6 and section 7.
All right. Can you listen now, please, Mr. Like Mr.
Stability.
Mr. Yeah. So, because of the limited numbers, it would, they made a decision to not have people use all the bathroom facilities and stuff. Because, in other words, they didn't want 2 persons to be over here doing that when you had, so all the people were contained in a specific area. But for this game, larger crowd, because all the schoolgirl teams are allowed free netball team. So you still there? Me think you're gone call the people. Me think you're gone call the people.
And girls, they are talking about the thing. Soldier got away.
Right. So
Soldier looks at the youth number 23.
The volleyball team will be allowed free. The netball team allowed free. All past players will be allowed free. So there are a lot more.
It's just free people. Roll it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that by JPF to do something like that for the girls, them to give these women's team these opportunity to come out and see. So only hope everybody come out and this. Only hope everybody come out and see. So that's a very good gesture by them.
And I honestly believe that we're going to get the better of Canada. I think Bonishaw is going to really impress.
Jody Brown is also here. Bonishaw.
And I love what they did for them. I think they had a nice little
it's not a little thing. It's not a little.
Yeah,
I saw the community event, and Crescent District is going to be renamed the Kadisha District.
Cataract, can't remember. You take the show, Cataract. You lead the show. You're the host.
Kadisha Shaw place a rename after big things. The whole district, them should name it from St. Catherine to St. Kadisha. Yeah.
You have the Rasta man as well?
Yes.
And I'm also saying that, Barins, I want to ask a question though. Is there a time since that when it reached a certain point in the match, like halftime, that JFF will just Lego the gate and make the fans them come in the stadium? Because on the Friday, there was a huge crowd outside the stadium trying to get in.
Cataract, you cannot ask people question and then you answer it.
Okay, teacher. You want
to be the host. You want to ask the questions. You want to answer them. What is the purpose of Andrea and I on the program?
I'm just using your rule book.
I don't know. The man ask question, the man answer it. When you're talking like what are we here for? So I don't know. Why would people be outside the stadium at halftime?
Because they could not get access with the new cashless ticket system.
So you're assuming
there were more people outside the stadium than inside on Friday.
So you're assuming
for the first game.
You're assuming that the same thing is going to happen, that they would not have learned from whatever happened to fix it.
Well, that should be announced then. Is there a place for the man who has his cash?
So you're saying that there are people who, having gone through what they've gone through, still want to use cash as an option of purchasing their ticket. Why they don't go up to the JFF office?
There are people who don't know, sir. And as a man who speaks for the poor, as a man who is in an organization that represents the poor and the downtrodden, you know that there's no direct bus from the stadium when you get there to get to JFF to get back. It's charter after charter taxi. That's 7 bills go and 7 bills come back, which is more than the cost of the ticket. Some people genuinely don't know, and other people can't do it. They don't have no email. They don't have no data on them phone.
Cataract, let's do one thing at a time now. Let's talk to the people them with the cash issue. So why not try and get the tickets from before? Just giving some options. They're trying to do that. Why you have to get it on match day?
Because they're coming from country and to come into Kingston twice.
So if you're coming from country, here's what I believe. Why can't the parish associations, because this is why you have to give Danny Beckford some credit. Anytime there are tickets to be sold, and Mount Pleasant does this electronically, Danny Beckford makes himself available for people from his parish to come to him and get their tickets. If they cannot, because he understands there are some people who don't have the intellectual capital to do it online. So he provides that for them. I think that is the kind of thinking that needs to happen across Jamaica. So like you, Cataract, all of them people who come from country, seeing that you come from country, why you don't make yourself available to help them? Because you're a countryman like them.
Really, that's the solution for the Jamaica Football Federation. May I suggest that you just give a vendor some tickets outside the stadium for do that then, since we're going to the ridiculous. There are some ticket booths. Hold on, may I suggest something seriously? There are ticket booths, plural, at the stadium that used to be manned on the day. May I suggest that they use those to facilitate those who have cash and need to be able to access
But
to get.
Just said it could not happen because how are they? What I know is that I understand that. All right, people, we act like Jamaica one first world country now. The national stadium don't have, and like the Alliance Stadium, or the TQL Stadium. There's no internet for the people who come into our national stadium. Very few places. So what needs to happen? Number one is that they need to get some modem to set up so they can have their own internet, because you're going to need internet to do it at the stadium. Proper internet. There is the stadium facility or the arena don't have that available. So the first thing on the outside is that the JFF needs to today begin to purchase whatever they need to set up good internet so that people who come there with their cards can buy the ticket there, or they can connect to the internet, provide it so they can connect to the internet and access the ticket. All right, if you want to go electronic, that the JFF needs to do. But I am saying, as a fan, I would not wait on that. I would give Cataract my money and say, Cataract, we want a ticket. Buy me ticket for me, no man, and just send it to my phone. See the 2-5 here.
Yeah, but give me that, no man. I will have 2 nice brownie with me and I stand and you'll be outside. You know, Jamaicans do not. We have a propensity to spend people money when they give it for buy something. So I wouldn't suggest that.
Right here,
No, what I would suggest, Mannings, is that at those ticket booths that are not used,
I just give
just listen, man. Just listen up and say they don't have to put, hold on, they don't have to put Wi-Fi in the whole stadium. Just put it at the ticket booth and say.
No, that me just I said to you. I said to you, the stadium don't have that. So the JFF would have to have their own internet. Give the people who are purchasing the ticket access to that internet so they can. Don't that me just said to me and answer the same thing and I repeat it higher. Andre, what do you think about? Yeah, I mean, is Trinidad and Tobago using electronic ticketing?
What I like about Jamaica at the moment that things happen and there are conversations about it. Information is very, very hard to come by when it comes to what's going on in football in Trinidad. Trinidad football is run in quite a different way. At least you there are Jamaican fans who's out there seeking information and having information and talking about things. I don't know how tickets are being. I know they're for the last game for the men's national team game against Curacao in Trinidad, there were electronic tickets.
Yeah.
I actually had one given to me for the game, so there were electronic tickets.
What I listen is that I find that I could be wrong. I believe the last stats that I see, the literacy level of Trinidad is way higher than Jamaica.
It is very high. It is very high. Look,
right. So I
think it's just the footballing standard that is not as high.
I see. So, brother, just keep quiet. Let me finish.
I couldn't resist that one.
Question we gotta ask is he lying at the moment? I don't know. Look, here what I would say, man. I would say that there's a World Cup in 2026, and if Jamaica, Trinidad, or whoever is in the region want to qualify for it, we have to raise our standards and we have to behave differently. The things that we've been discussing today, that has been discussed since your last international game, about those are behaviors that does not suggest that we have the right mentality. And this has happened in Trinidad too in time gone by. I don't know if it happened recently, but it doesn't suggest we have the mentality to compete with the best. When you want to compete with the best, you have to have every little detail taken care of. Right? Players have to be committed. Players have to be focused on the task at hand. And we cannot be distracted. Our players cannot be distracted by things on the outside. And the infrastructure must be put in place for players to perform. It must be a player-centric environment. And one of the things I remember asking this in one of our conversations about the TTFA. I asked somebody about the TTFA, and I'll ask you the same thing. I'll ask both of you the same thing about the JFF, because a lot of this drive behavior. What are the values of the JFF?
Yeah. We'll go and come to that. We have a call online. We haven't seen him in a very, very long time. Controversial, some of you may say he is. And we're going to get back to Andre's question afterward. But really want to hear from this one. He's the one and only yours truly. They call him the Gunner's Boss, the man who says that his sound, earth vibration, is ready to kill off the cataract sound. How you doing, Gunner's Boss?
Bless up, Mannings man. Bless up, Mannings man. The carver. I would say the architect and all those things. Mannings man, I never know you have twin.
Oh, Andre. Oh, Andre. No, about twin.
No.
About Andre.
No, man,
not cataract.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this screen in front of me, and I see two young men on this screen, and I see nothing different from Mannings man here. Even the way how the little man them stand up. The two of them stand up like you, and the two of them. The man them, I your son them, I know still, but my youth.
Are you talking about your WhatsApp?
Yeah, cover. John, congratulations. Make them tell them you two little youth, so Mr. Be great. Be greater than you.
Yeah.
Them have what me and
they say a parent. They say a parent is the only people who want their kids to be better than them, you know?
Yeah, man. They tell them to be greater than you. Yeah, man. Them youth, you know?
Yeah.
Them the man them look like them have the brains that run out of them head already, like how you did have it when you're younger, you know, but them look like them brighter than you, you know?
True.
Anyway.
Yes.
Right along now. Let me get into this. Pick up yourself, Mr. Andre.
Yes.
Cataract is here, you know.
Then we cataract. Let me not see cataract on the screen. You just one.
You just see me on my TV. Just look at your TV and hear me in stereo.
Me not have no TV. Me see my friend that show me one TV where they say have TV on the wall that show me. And the man look like a phone he have on the wall, you know. And sit down for one hot soccer watch it, you know, that tell me say me to watch it in big screen on the wall. And me I tell him say, when you have big screen for a wall, it's supposed to cover the wall and majority of it. Not put up no phone or no tablet on the wall and show me cataract. Reggae vibration, a Peter Black's reggae vibration, a big sound comparing to cataract sound. And the name alone you have. And many other people have a name before you, so I don't feel your name, you know. I don't like how many name Pioneer the original Pioneer, you know. Yeah. When Lush and Sky and them give me this from me, 8-year-old, you know. Out of gas station, out of Porus, you know, cataract. Don't play yourself. Big up yourself, G. Anyway.
Oh, cataract, we're not hearing you, no cataract.
But never sell star out a gas station. I've always been a DJ and selector. And I don't have to worry. See that there? That's a big screen TV. That's how we do it in Jamaica, son. Don't try it.
Where the big screen is cataract?
The big screen. When they order with AC, 20 degrees, temperature control. Yeah. And then we have a big spot. Yeah, we don't do things small, brother. Cataract have big sound. You understand? Everything big for cataract. Just go rewind. But let me hear Gunner's Boss. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this matter. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, man. So this thing I tune in now and I hear about here you drape up a little man they attack some things about the curfew. What you saying? Some players break curfew and it is a problem.
No, I think we're asking whether there should be rules surrounding partying before a game and what is acceptable. Should players be partying on the Monday when they have a game on Tuesday? Or players?
These people are adults, you know, Cataract. Just like how you are adult, you know. So I don't think you or me can control when an individual want to party or don't want to party. But as far as this curfew thing is concerned, when you're a professional and you have a rules and you break that rule, there have to be a price to pay for it. So my thing is, say one individual, if it's the best ball upon the team, and break curfew and he got caught, sit him. I mean, I don't say sit him, you know. Sit him for even 20 minutes. Don't let him start if he's a general, original, regular starter, everyday starter. Don't let him start. Set an example. That's the best you can do. Give him half of the game. Give him 20 minutes to sit on the bench or something. Because me I talk like how me see other them do it in a professional sports, you know. Now, if it's half of the team, what you gonna do? You can't sit half of the team, you know. So you have to find other ways. You're going to have to find a way to find. It should be a way where some players don't start, some of them get fined, and who no worth it and go break the curfew and then them no worth the team, kick them off of the team. But you can't punish the whole team to one or two individuals. Understand? Well, if the whole team go to party now and the whole of them come, you have to accept that for what it is because you don't have a replacement. How me talk?
For the first time, you make any sense.
What do you mean that?
But you don't reach $1 yet, though.
You cannot say make any sense. You have to say make some sense, Cataract.
Any. Even 1 cent. It's the first time I agree with anything that got us past Peter Blacks. And right now, anybody can name us out. But I agree with what you said.
Yeah, man. That's
are you reading it from somewhere?
Yeah, man. I know, you know, you can't have the good stuff for the bad in this situation, you know? It's a professional setting. They are not
all right,
kids.
Gunners Boss, sure improvement. I have Kevin Williams comment up, but I'm going to come back to you. All right, Kevin Williams, but sure improvement have a comment that I think is good. She has this comment, and I want you to respond, Cataract. I want each of you to take a minute because we're soon close, right? He says, Manny, do you believe that the fact that we are descendants of slavery, we are unable to self-govern? And so is it just a culture of us that we have to have somebody over us to do what is right? Basically that she's saying. Is that because of the fact that we are from colonial backgrounds? Why, like Caribbean people generally, it's like they need a supervisor, they need a manager. You go up on a regular work site, and if the what they call the man, the person who run the work site?
The foreman.
The foreman, yeah. If the foreman are dead, man gonna play domino, man play some pita pat, some poker. You understand me? Man go and cook some food and thing because, and as soon as the boss come and say, yo, the foreman and him, man get back to work. Is it a background master mentality that still, you know, Bob Marley sing about emancipate yourself from mental slavery? Is it that is going on? Let me hear from you, Gunners Boss, then Cataract, then Andre. Why is self-governance so difficult for Caribbean nationals?
I personally will blame nothing on slavery because I have never experienced slavery or met anyone who experienced slavery. Never.
Oh my God.
No. It's people being unruly and cannot take rules and regulation. Talking about work management, me do my job. Yesterday it was raining, it stopped rain, and me noticed that when my boss is not around, nobody no want to do no work. We do as little as we can. When the boss is here, we do a lot more.
Even you?
So I just study things. Of course. Then well, I don't know why me I know the owner or me I know the boss. So you think so now if the boss not here and I see my other 5 poor workers doing less, I am going to do more to make it look like I'm the rat. or I'm snitching on them, and when they come, it look like I am the only one work. No, one man now work, none of we now work. And I saw the thing said. So me no see no slavery mentality tonight. It's so it go. When you've been employed, when the big boss not around, man, I saw it going on every business, even in your business, you know. Right now you're on the podcast and you know they over your business place, you know. Some people they around there, like yeah, some you around the corner. So sure improvement. Big up yourself, sister. I want to see your face on the podcast one of these days, and I expect you to call and I want to hear your voice. So just type like some people when not have no voice. Or some guys who sound like you, and because them sound like you, them afraid to call. With you know, so just call one of the day if your voice not sound like me. And big up yourself, sister. It's a great question, but you know, I mean, I support the slavery thing and the colonial days thing. Because we don't have nothing to do with that or know nothing about that. Let me it up.
All right, so let me hear from. All right, Gunners boss, big up yourself every time. I appreciate it.
Man, big up yourself, Simmonds, man. When you come back a foreign, call me.
Yeah,
you
man.
Look like say when you come a foreign, you forget to call me, but you call everybody else.
Thanksgiving is around the corner.
It's cataract.
Thanksgiving is around the corner.
No, well, somebody
send Cataract's deposit to Manning's man. I trust him to forward it on.
Cataract, let me have a favor, please. Cataract, take my phone number from Manning's man and call me. I think I text Manning's man a while back. Maybe him never read the message and tell him to run my phone number to you, make you give me a call, you know. If you will be in New York, when I buy you a ticket, I have one place, I have a basement with a king-size bed in there, like a TV, where you can sleep. I buy you no ticket, I pay no hotel for you, I carry you to a top class restaurant to eat. So you just know that when you come to New York, you come hang with we, just like how when Explosion go on, the man them come hang with we, and we do it. We not got no big thing, because we not have them the kind of money that make your plan. If a big man, if a big class thing you're on, nobody come. But you see, if you are going to work with we are going to give you a New York City in a Brooklyn.
All right, good.
Call me, give him the message, give him the number, make him call me if him can afford to call me. All right, you can't afford to call me, WhatsApp me Cataract and I will call you. Because I have Bass Revolution. Big up on yourself, people. Enjoy the day. You know when me come here, me just come here to make a laugh, you know. There's too much sorrow in the world right now. You understand?
All right.
And today, let me tell you something, man, before me run. Today, me turn 59 people. 59. Yeah.
Your son is 59 years old?
Happy birthday, Gunners boss. Happy birthday, man.
Me turn 59 today, man.
Oh, you're 59.
Happy birthday, Gunners boss.
It's 34.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday.
Blessed earth strong.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Cataract, no bad mind because you can't live long like me. Thank you. Big up yourself. Call me Cataract.
I know who won't live long is your sound. Because come Thanksgiving, when I lose a life. Mannings.
Hold on. Two couple of things.
Sure, shoot my question.
Yeah. And then Rob says that. Rob says, no, you know why you don't have no kid. Because you had too many fights.
So, yeah, it's like anything now. Anything.
Too many fights. So you understand me? And because the court tell us you couldn't have anything so often. Like when you have a fight, most of your life you spend fighting. So that is why you don't have the time to make any kids, brother.
So I'd like to answer Sure Improvement's question.
Yeah.
And first to say that Gunners boss just gave us an excellent definition of slavery mentality. That you don't have any equity in the business, so once the boss back turn, you got to play that.
Yeah, that was our best.
So that's the very definition of a slavery mentality. The effects of slavery will be felt for generations to come. It was a horrific institution, the transatlantic slave trade. And I wouldn't want anybody to go by the notion that because it happened or ended 100 or 200 years ago, we are not feeling the repercussions. The dehumanization of the African, the indentured slaves who were Indian and Chinese, that is something that will be felt for almost another 100 years, if not. And I'm one who believes that reparations must be paid to the countries, both in the Caribbean and Africa, who were raped of their wealth and their human resources.
People are the word, man. They use them strong word, man. Come on, man.
I apologize, but that's what it was to me. But who were forcefully had their wealth and their human resources forcefully taken from them. People who had their dignity forcefully taken from them and taken to a new place where they spoke not the language. Many didn't know each other and were made to work for free. Wealth is not created or destroyed, it's simply transferred. And so the monies from those slave trades still exist. Tate and Lyle, the sugar company, still exists. And I believe that reparations must be paid to the Caribbean islands in the amounts that the University of the West Indies and the CARICOM commissioned, the commission have calculated, which is several $trillion owed to the Caribbean. And our brothers in Africa can do the same calculation. I'm serious about that. So I believe that some of it may be back to the remnants of slavery. I don't know how much, and I don't know which parts of it. But the propensity for Jamaicans to break rules has been studied back to our rebellious nature as slaves, because we had rules imposed on us rather than it be a sort of mutually agreed set of standards by which we would live. And we define it in different ways. Popcorn say unruly, some man say fully dunce, but it's a very serious thing and not something to play and laugh with.
Duklan has a very important question that he wants to ask. I don't even see it in the comment section. I don't want to.
I'm paying attention to this conversation, which I think is very important. And I would love to hear Andre's view about the slavery mentality before we move on. And Duklan, let me tell you something. If you say anything now, I swear you're going to soak the next time you come stand up in our section, because you know how we roll.
Okay.
You know how Team Cataract rolls at half line. You know.
Okay, what do you say about
Andre, what do you say about the slave?
Cataract, I have removed you as host. I am asking the question.
Sure, Improvement asked the question, actually.
Yeah, go ahead, Andre.
Look, obviously there's been some effects that we still have to deal with today from slavery, but I believe that one of the things we are capable of changing our behavior. I think we are quite capable. I think one of the things that we need to change is our educational system, because it was not created by us, right? It was created by someone else, and I think from my perspective, with the mentality to serve them, right, and not ourselves. And I think if we were to educate ourselves in a different way, where we would behave different, we would begin to do things to for our people. If you look at Saudi Arabia, if you read some of the things that they've been putting out, what they're doing right now in football, for example, they would tell you they're doing it for their people, right? They try to bring Messi in as motivation for their young people. They're developing a league because they have a big portion, about 80% of the society that loves the game, and they're developed for their people. And I don't think I hear us talking like that, right? We still the part of slavery. There's a very good calypsonian in Trinidad. This song don't play a lot, but one of the lines in its calypso is that the descendants of slaves have become the slave masters. And what we find, I particularly very uncomfortable with the fact that in football, we ask players to come play and don't pay them, right? Or hesitate to pay them or wait a long time to pay them. I think that for me, that's a slave experience. And I think we need to just change the way we behave, but I think it will come through our educational system if we start to educate ourselves differently.
Yeah, I think even our educational system, for me, I think it creates like this mentality that you're supposed to be owned, you're supposed to be controlled, you're supposed to be governed by others, you're supposed to work for someone, you're supposed to belong to someone else, seek someone else for help. It's always out exterior focus. Like it's not about discovering who you are, becoming who you're purposed to be, find your gifting, expanding your talent. Our educational system, I think, needs to be revamped, because me, it is education to keep you in the mold of what was centuries ago.
And you want to serve your people. I mean, you go to school, you get 6 passes, you get a job, you go on the job, and the behavior seems to be, look at me, I went to this school and I have 6 passes, as opposed, how do I make my country better today?
Yeah.
How do I serve the citizens? How do I hear all the time from people, especially older people, they go to do something at an agency or a government office and they're told to come back tomorrow, come back, as though, well, it's not very easy for people to go back and forth like that sometimes. So I think we need to have a serious look at our educational system and have it designed in a way that would educate us to serve our people. I think that's one of the big adjustments that we need to make.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to close.
Andre, thank you about the comeback, because that's what I was talking about, the ticket system, Mannings. When you tell people come back,
Yeah.
where you've come to purchase, there should be an availability of different modes that you can make that purchase. Come out and support the Reggae Girlz on Friday, and Iman will be foreign on tour, so I won't be at that game. But I wish the young ladies well. I'm interested to see whether there'll be more fans in the stadium than the paltry amount that was at the Reggae Boys game. Shocking.
Some people are YouTube fan, and I hope a YouTube fan out there, and them not go game, and then we all tell us.
No, but when me beat them, you always have to stop.
Yeah, man, they have some YouTube fans, man. Them now go watch the game. But Kevin Williams had this up there. He's talking about the fact that there is, people don't trust this online thing and stuff. But I'm telling you right now, I'd rather use electronic means of doing transaction than cash in Jamaica. Cash is risky.
There's a lot of.
I'm gonna give you a good example. Recently, I went to a supermarket and I had cash because I'm not used to using cash. I used to using card. So with the new monies, I think the lady says it was like $4,000 something. I ended up giving her like $12,000, And she said that it's a good thing that I'm not a dishonest person, because your bill come up to $4,000, and because of how the monies are, come like me give her like $5,000 and a $2,000 and not even realize. So I just think safer ways to use.
In the grocery store?
Mannings, you're 100% correct. I got tricked last night when I play. Some people come give me some bag of money pull up, but I'm swear I'm rich. When we reach home, $50, $100. The man trick me give me $1,000 be like the start, and shell me down with 50s. So it catch all of it. I really think money should be differentiated, but I hear you. It's an important point. And we don't want to just talk football on this program. We try to talk about all aspects of life. So I respect that still.
Yeah,
but support the girls, man.
So I'd ask a question, man, about the values of JFF, which should be part of the mission statement and all that stuff. Do we know what it is?
I mean, they are there, but I think it's on there. Yeah, man. I think that I don't know. We could check, but I don't know them. I know what my life values are. I know what they spell.
But management, that's serious, because you were engaged to the organization. So one of the first things that you should be given is the vision, mission, goals.
No, cataract, not do that.
No.
Okay. So hold on. So when the bank employs somebody to fix them AC, they must give them the whole vision of the bank and the values?
Yes. Because hold a minute, man. Hold a minute. And let me say this. Because if you say to them that the value of this bank is that our customers must be comfortable, then you must know, so you have to fix the AC to that thing. It's on the wall. It's on the wall when you walk in. In most organizations, you don't walk and just hand it to the man, so it's there.
Cataract. Andre just asked about the values and that of the JFF.
Yes.
You went on suggesting that I am now at the JFF. So
no, engaged. I said engaged.
So I should know them.
Yes.
I use the example of an AC repairman.
Okay.
Coming to service or repair the AC at the bank.
Okay.
he comes here and does his contract for a week or a day or a month to fix the AC. Is that man given the whole vision on the bank, their mission statement, all of those things? Is he given that, Ketara?
I will say to you that yes, because that is
I will
on.
say to you, no.
May I finish? May I finish? It's
And I'm saying to you,
prominently on the wall. It is prominently on the wall of good business practice suggests that you must have your mission and vision
different
statement.
argument. That's not what Andre was asking. That's not what you said.
Let me put.
Go ahead, Andre.
Let me
Go ahead,
put
Andre.
what I'm suggesting.
We
in
can
context.
agree that the GFF should have their things. They have stuff up there. I've never looked at them because
They have a big picture of 1998 World Cup squad. That's what they have. Tell the people the truth, man.
I don't know what I'm telling you. They have all kind of pictures and different walls. I don't look at all of them. They have different things written on them. I'm telling you, I don't do that. You know what is there. You go there more often than me. So in this case, I want you to know that I am not employed.
I said engaged.
So
engaged.
Not everybody who you engage with, you give your vision and your values and all of those things, Catara. That's all I'm saying.
In a management capacity, not in AC repair.
Katak, stop make trouble. All you do is making trouble. But my point
you see that's a problem, Andre. In a management capacity, a serious man, and I'm not a joke. You should have been given the key values of the organization values, because part of management is that you are managing the culture, which is supposed to be driven by the organization values. Am I correct, Andre?
Yes, and I'll call the UN. You're correct on that. We have the second time in the day we agreed.
So,
right?
no. Okay,
management, the point is this, right?
Yes.
We talk about values and principles, and your values play themselves out every day within the organization as principles. So what are the things that you're doing every day that match the values? So if it's integrity is one of your values, there's a set of behaviors throughout your organizations with the people involved that exude integrity. So I think, and the only point I'm trying to make on that, because I couldn't get it to when I asked about the TTFF, is the importance of that is if you have values and people know the values, like in my football club, we have values, and the training session, it has to be considered when you plan a training session, right? The coaches have to behave in that way every day because we are trying to raise the children up in that way, right? So it's important. It's a very important thing that everybody know what it is so that they could live it on a daily basis. And I think it will affect the bigger picture. So in the context of the conversation that we were having today, if we are living our values, then it would be easier. We don't have to set curfews and that kind of stuff.
One thing I can answer is that the national team, and this is under Coach Hal Grimson, he has values that every single camp that we have had, those values are reinforced to the players.
Right.
And so when I speak, that is what I'm saying.
Right.
Is that when things are done, if you have a value that says, for example, respect, you have to respect your team and respect yourself. When those actions are done that break those values, then action must be taken. Exactly what you're saying. Now, whether or not those values are similar to because the Reggae Girlz have their own values, that are separate from the values for the male team. Some of the things are similar, but they have different things that they value because the context is different. All of these things, I believe, should somehow, so I can use the organization that I leave. We exist to win the lost, connect them to the church, train them up, and send them out in order to glorify God. You ask all my people, they know that. We have a value thing that is spelled out purpose, like you pursue intimate relationship. You and all of those things is spelled, so they know that. But every department, depending on the context of their work and who they engage, uses that big, broad value system and create from it similar but different wording to, like, our kids don't coin it and say it the same way, but they understand that we have 5 main purposes that all things are built around. And that is how the wording is in the different departments.
So, Mannings,
but I have to leave. So you have like 30 seconds, so go quickly.
there's something, that's why there are different things there's things that are called core values. And those core values permeate throughout the organization. They don't change.
So what did I just say?
You may have an additional value in the accounts department to speak to about,
What did I just say?
You said that everybody have their own value, but it's worded differently. It's not worded differently. It's a core value. Support the girls. Support the girl. That's my core value. Support Reggae Boys. Support the team. Buy a ticket. Go at the game.
People. Major
Watch I Am Sure Sports every day. That's a core value in your life. Put it in.
Anyways,
hit the like button. That's another core value. Hit the like button. Share and subscribe.
Can you please allow me to finish the show, Ketara? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you for your permission, sir. All right. The rule is, beginning today, that whenever you go and party, you are not allowed to come on the show. If you party 48 hours...
I work at the party. I don't party.
All right, so, but people, listen, want to say a big thank you. Listen, we have our membership tab. You can be a member of I Am Sure Sports. You can do that right now. Be a member of I Am Sure Sports. You can also help the channel by our super sticker, super chat. They're all up. Hit the like button, subscribe and share. Big thank you to the one from Trinidad and Tobago, the one, Mr. Andre Fortune, Gunners for Life. Big up to Cataract. Leeds are not in the lead. They are like leeches right
We
now.
are 11th in the championship. Just won 2 back-to-back games. 3-0. Millwall fell to a rot.
Big up to all the people. Big up to all the people watching, for all the likes. Let's get it to 100 before we go. Big thank you. Later this evening, we should have a Reggae Boy will be joining us for a very quick chat. Understand me? So around 5:30, join us for that. All right. So please, I am management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And as usual, when you get to this point of the show, we say we are over and we are OUT out of here.
Yo, watch about dog. SK New Erdis. The body out there. Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Race, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Yeah. Someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.